It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland. Well, we got some college basketball news yesterday, and it's not good for Spartans fans. Incoming transfer wing Caleb Glenn from Florida Atlantic University suffered a torn patellar injury that's going to put him out for the entire 2025-2026 season. This is a really tough blow for Tom Izzo and his Spartans, as they already are losing their top two scorers from last season in Jaden Akins and Jace Richardson, who is set to be picked likely in the first round of next week's NBA draft. Now, Glenn wasn't going to come in and be the top scorer for the Spartans team, more of a 3-and-D wing, play some defense, knock down shots, get out in transition. But still, he was part of a hole at the wing spot that Michigan State really doesn't have a guy to replace right now. And it all comes down to what type of leap can Cohen Carr take next year for Michigan State. The reigning Big Ten regular season champs now are relying heavy on their big three, likely of Jeremy Fears, Cohen Carr, and Jackson Kohler. This is a Michigan State team right now that lacks a superstar, that lacks a number one option. And last year they didn't have a superstar, but they still had their go-to guys. Is Cohen Carr going to be that guy in 2025? We'll see if the junior takes a big-time leap as the number one option for Michigan State this year. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Appointment radio across the state.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show. Shout out everyone in the Great Lakes Bay region. Shout out everyone listening and watching on the YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, hey, you're missing out. We've got a lot to get to today. Kyle Sandell behind the glass producing for us. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're just going to jump right into it today because, well, we've got no time to waste. So that's sarcasm if you haven't picked up on that. So Kyle, yesterday was so bizarre because typically we have early mornings, we have late nights doing the job here for the Loons. And yesterday they call off the Loons game early on, I don't know, like 5 o'clock, 4:30, something like that. And I'm like, awesome. Like, we got our nights. I have a night off, basically. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch the Tigers. It's a Skubal day. I was all excited about it. Going to sit down at home, get the yellow legal pad out, get the pen out, And I just was so excited to watch a Tarek Skubal game. Then they ended up postponing the Tigers. And I complained about not having enough free time. Then I had an entire night to basically do whatever I wanted with no Loons game, no Tigers game. And I was just like, what on earth do I do here? I was at a loss as to what to do with my life. Not with my life, but like with my night for certain. I was so excited to watch the Tigers game. And then once they got postponed, it was like, what am I going to do? There's no NBA finals on. The NHL finals are done. I was so confused as to what to do with a random off night in the middle of the week. Now, we've got the Tarek Skubal game today. We've got Paul Skenes pitching in game number 2, which, by the way, we're going to get into that in just a second. AJ Hinch, Don Kelly, what are we doing? We give the baseball fans a little gift here on June 19th. Please, for the love of God, everyone wants to see Tarek Skubal versus Paul Skenes. 2 best pitchers in baseball. 2 best whips in baseball. You can make the argument Chris Sale belongs in that conversation too, but you know what? For the purpose of the argument, best left-handed pitcher, Tarek Skubal. Best right-handed pitcher, Paul Skenes. They're both pitching in Comerica Park today. They just happen to be pitching 2 separate games because there's a doubleheader now in Comerica Park. And by the way, doubleheader, then a getaway day, hop on a plane, head to Tampa. Tough turnaround for the Tigs. But why? Why on earth does Don Kelly and AJ Hinch not get on the phone with each other and say, let's give the people what we want? Because I know for a fact Tarek Skubal would be up for it. He's a psychopath. He's one of those guys that's always down for a little bit of competition. He'd be down to go toe-to-toe with Paul Skenes. And I feel like Don Kelly, being not from Detroit, but having ties to the organization, he'd be down for the challenge too. He seems like a competitive guy. So my theory is either these two haven't communicated at all, which Andy Dirks, you need to get on top of that, or AJ Hinch is being a little bit protective, or in other words, being smart, because he wants to guarantee a win against this terrible Pirates offense with Tarek Skubal. And if you put him toe-to-toe with Paul Skenes, odds of winning go down a little bit. But I'd actually be completely okay with that because I just want to see Paul Skenes versus Tarek Skubal. That's the baseball fan in me, not the Tigers fan in me, just wanting to see the 2 best pitchers in the world go toe-to-toe with each other, something that very rarely happens, especially considering one of them's in the National League, one of them is in the American League. The 2 favorites to win the Cy Young, both playing in the same ballpark on the same day, and they're not going to be going toe-to-toe with each other. What are we doing here, Kyle? This is ridiculous. I don't know how much power we truly have on the show, but I will say sometimes I convince myself it's a little bit more than I realize. Earlier this week, last week, we said Parker Meadows, put him in the 9 spot until he gets back. Well, where was he later that day? In the 9 hole. Did we have any direct impact on that? I don't know. Probably not. But sometimes, once in a while, we'll say something, and then there's a chain reaction to it. What did we say about Andy Ibanez? We were like, get him off this roster. Literally that day, he's DFA'd. So, I don't know. Maybe we do have a little bit more power. I'm just trying to figure out why on earth we're
somebody
not...
watching the show?
Maybe.
In the Tigers clubhouse?
AJ Hinch just has it on YouTube stream. Why are we not getting this? Is Paul Skenes ducking? Is AJ Hinch just trying to secure a series win? Because with a 9-game lead in the division, I'm willing to put that up for risk. I'm willing to put a series loss on the line, even though they just lost a series to the Reds, if it means Tarek Skubal and Paul Skenes get to go head-to-head. Because I actually have confidence that the Tigers would still be able to get to Paul Skenes a little bit, and the Tigers can win that game. Hey, if the Pirates just want to get swept, because obviously the Tigers are winning a Tarek Skubal start against one of the worst offenses in baseball. They just want to get swept. We'll take it to Paul Skenes in the afternoon. But the 1 o'clock game is going to belong to Tarek Skubal. I don't understand why we don't get these 2 guys going toe-to-toe. So maybe I'm arguing to a wall because nothing's going to change about it. But what? They've got...
Well, yeah, it's obviously not going to change.
They've got 4 more hours to make a call. We've seen crazier things happen. We've seen starters change, like, I don't know, every time it feels like Sawyer Gibson-Long or Kaider Montero is going to start, it's like, actually, we're going to throw an opener in there.
It's still the same guy getting the bulk innings.
I know.
They're not changing this. I would love it. I mean, who wouldn't love this, right? It's the 2 best guys in baseball. It would be one of the more fun games of the day, of the season. It is a 1 o'clock game, which if they did do the first game, kind of a tough spot to have a primetime pitching matchup, 1 p.m. on a Thursday.
People will make it work. If you're a real baseball fan, you're sitting at your desk at work and not working, just watching baseball.
Right.
It'll be a quick game anyway.
The reason why it's not happening, though, is you kind of mentioned it already. Paul Skenes, despite his sub-2 ERA, despite being the best right-handed pitcher in baseball potentially, has a 4-6 record. Like, this Pirates offense is terrible. If you're AJ Hinch, why would we put Skubal against Skenes when we still feel we could probably win against Skenes without putting Skubal against him?
To give the people what they deserve.
Which is fair.
To give the people, if we're trying to promote baseball and we're trying to grow the popularity of the sport, which I think, honestly, like as much as everyone says baseball's a dying sport, baseball doesn't market their stars, I think in the last few years they've actually kind of excelled at doing that.
For sure they have.
It was something they were terrible at for more than a decade, but in the last couple of years, really since like Shohei went to the Dodgers and Judge kind of became the superstar that he has, and you got guys like Tatis.
There's a lot of young superstars that fans can connect with as well.
With personalities.
Yes.
The popularity of the sport, I don't know about the popularity, but like it becoming back to being something that people talk about just on a daily basis at the water cooler at work, it's gone up here in the last couple of years. And you know how you really take advantage of that? Is you put the two best pitchers in the world up against each other. Even if it's a 1 o'clock game, like in Comerica Park, not nationally televised, you do that to help your sport grow. Rob Manfred should be on the phone right now with AJ Hinch and Don Kelly and be like, you don't get a choice. Skubal versus Skenes. Make it happen. Make the call, Mr. Manfred. Do something good as the commissioner for once. Because I can't really point to like one thing that this guy's done is like, yeah, he's a good commish. The only thing that I can think of when I think of Rob Manfred is the 2020 World Series. You know, would you say the cheapest ring? I think all the COVID rings count, but if there's one that didn't, that baseball season was weird.
All of them were weird.
All of them were weird.
It counts.
I'm not saying it doesn't count, but I think college football affected the most. Baseball probably the second most, if I had to rank those. But all I can think about when I think of Rob Manfred is when he was getting on the mic in Dodger Stadium. What's his name had just tested positive for COVID, but he was still down there celebrating on the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah. Turner, I think.
Yeah. And he just couldn't speak because of the echo in the stadium. He was on a microphone, and he could hear himself twice, and he could not form a functioning human sentence. And it was like watching it on national television. It was like, oh, my God, is this guy incompetent? What is he doing out there? That's what I think of when I think of Rob Manfred. But if he were to insert himself into this situation. And now I'm just talking crazy. I understand that. I just desperately want to see Paul Skenes versus Tarek Skubal.
Right, this is the fan in you.
Yeah, this is a
no
baseball
one blames
fan
you
in
for
me.
this. A lot of fans want to see this. Why wouldn't you want to see this?
There's no reason that this can't happen other than AJ Hinch wanting to secure a series win or Paul Skenes being like, nah, I'm good. It has to be one of those two.
There's no way Paul Skenes is like, no, I don't want to. There's no way.
You ever think about this? I don't know one thing about Paul Skenes. This guy has like the dullest personality.
You don't know one thing about Paul Skenes? How many guys' girlfriends do you know in Major League Baseball?
Off the field. I know who he's dating, and I know that she's this
off the
giant personality. But anytime I've ever seen an interview with this guy, whether it's on or off the field, he's just like, yeah, I mean, like he's like the most boring, dull interview.
He is pretty boring, yes.
Which usually makes for the best athletes. But he's not real social. He's not real out there. We don't really know a ton about Paul Skenes and his personality. We know Skubal's like a fiery dude, psycho competitor, likes to celebrate, likes beer. We found that out when they clinched the playoffs last season. But I don't really know much about Paul Skenes personality-wise. Maybe he's ducking this smoke a little bit. Maybe he's like, I don't want to. He's more concerned
it's
about
not his
a
choice.
win. If he went up to Don Kelly and was like, I want to go toe-to-toe with Skubal, it would happen. For sure, it would happen.
No, it would not.
Why?
Because he's not the manager of the team.
Paul Skenes has more control of the Pirates organization than Don Kelly does. He's the interim manager. Am I wrong? Paul Skenes is a franchise player. You think the interim manager has more control over the team and what's happening?
Yes, they control everything.
Oh, come on. No. If Andy Dirks...
So you're telling me if Paul Skenes was like, hey, go trade for this guy, they'll do it? It's the Pirates we're talking about, Ben. If this was the Yankees or something, it'd be different.
Maybe that's my biggest takeaway. I hate this Pirates organization. You're dirt cheap. You don't do anything right. You get rid of players before they can even blossom. Normally, a Paul Skenes trade rumor, like someone this talented, it wouldn't even be entertained. You'd have to be an idiot to suggest that. But the fact that people are doing it is because you are a pathetic organization and franchise. You're getting swept today, Pirates. You're getting swept. You're losing both games. And I hope you do so bad, because I think the Pirates are more so the reason that we're not getting Paul Skenes versus Tarek Skubal than the Tigers are. Or maybe I've just convinced myself of that. 989-837-6125. Someone explain to me why we're not getting this. Paul Skenes versus Tarek Skubal. We've got a lot to get to today. We've got the YouTube chat. You guys can leave a comment there as well. YouTube chat, YouTube just kind of popping off right now with the amount of people in the stream. So appreciate all of you guys. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Give it a subscription. We'd appreciate that a lot here at 100.9. The Mitt, to everyone listening in the car here in the Great Lakes Bay region. Got some good stuff coming up. An athletic quiz is taking over, hijacking our Mitt morning catch. And one quarterback that you guys are all aware of, I need to talk about his expectations heading into the season. Fun show planned out. Can't wait. Before we get to the next thing, let me tell you about Midland Eye Care. See the difference right there at Midland Eye Care, where your vision is their focus, offering comprehensive eye exams, glasses, contacts, advanced eye health services, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a wide selection of stylish frames for every face and budget. Locally owned and trusted by families throughout the Midland area, while offering comprehensive eye care services and in-demand lenses and frames. Whether you're updating your prescription or checking in on your eye health, they've got you covered. Book your appointment today and start seeing clearer tomorrow. I'm getting hot, man. I worked myself up already on a Thursday.
You never even said what you were doing yesterday either. Just kind of skipped over that.
With that off day?
Yeah, let's talk about it later.
All right. Stay tuned. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think.
That's really a great point, yeah.
And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am and what I stand for. And, you know, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you know, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you know, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford. Parents, summer is almost here. Do you have a plan? Keep your kids active, engaged, and having a blast at Greater Midland Summer Camps. Every day is a new adventure filled with games, sports, creative activities, and new friendships. Plus, new this year, our full-day camps are now at the Greater Midland Tennis Center. More space, more fun, and more memories to be made. Spots are filling fast, so don't wait. Secure your child's best summer ever today at greatermidland.org/camps.
Celebrate 4th of July with the Great Lakes Loons. Join us for our block party on Main, presented by the Michigan Army National Guard. Celebrate America's independence with face painting, balloon animals, the inflatable zone on the front lawn, and of course, America's pastime. The evening wraps up with a spectacular fireworks Loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. For tickets, visit loons.com. This isn't just baseball, it's the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
Over 60 and retired? Making ends meet, especially at the supermarket, is tough. BenefitsCheckup.org is a free website that helps you pay for food, medicine, even utilities. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation. The Mitt.
We are being robbed of Tarek Skubal versus Paul Skenes. I don't know what we got to do to make this happen. It's probably not happening. Let's be clear about that. But I cannot believe that we're not making the call here. Rob Manfred, checking in. AJ Hinch, what are we doing? Don Kelly, what are we doing? Give the people of Detroit what they deserve here. The two best pitchers, the two best whips, two historically good whips as well, by the way. 0.81 and 0.85, if I can recall off the top of my head. Maybe 0.83 and 0.85. Like, best in years, both of them. These guys are incredible. The best righty, the best lefty in baseball today. Both playing in Comerica Park, yet not going toe-to-toe. Ridiculous. 989-837-6125. Michael Preby in the YouTube chat says, Tigers want two big gates. The Tigers want Skubal game 1, Skenes game 2 for the sake of ticket sales. I don't know if that would really make that big of a difference with it already being...
Yes, it would.
4 hours from the first pitch?
It gives people a reason to go to both games. Why would anyone go to the second game if Skubal Skenes was game 1? Would you even go?
How much of a difference would it really make? Like, when there's a doubleheader... Yeah, but when there's a doubleheader, do you actually need a ticket to both games to stay for the second one if you're in the ballpark for the first one?
I would assume so.
Do they kick you out?
I mean, I've never been to a doubleheader, so I can't say. There's definitely people that have, so they would know how that works.
I have a hard time with a quick turnaround like that, believing like, hey, we're just going to boot everyone out of the stadium, and then you got to recheck back in.
But who's even staying, though? Just in
Tigers
general.
Baseball. You're saying
you just sat and watched 3 hours of baseball. You're going to watch more of Kiter Montero versus Andrew Heaney? You know? Like, you just watched some generational pitching performance against each other.
I don't know, man. We can talk about the ticket sales and stuff. We can talk about the ticket sales and stuff, but I actually don't think it impacts the prices of the tickets that much if you were to...
Well, not prices, just
let's
attendance.
say they were to change it right now. And they were to, hey, Skenes is starting for the first game. Game 1 is Skubal versus Skenes. How much can the ticket prices actually go up from now until 1 o'clock? I don't think it's that much, because usually the ticket prices drop the hours leading up to the game.
Right.
And it's not like everyone on short notice is like, oh my God, let me change my entire day's worth of plans to. Actually, people would definitely do that. I don't know how many people realistically are like, I'm calling in sick from work immediately to go watch this.
A lot of people.
Hell, I might.
Skubal Skenes? Yeah. We have to end the show early if that happened.
Replay the first hour. We're going down to Comerica Park. 989-837-6125. Hey, we got 41 people in the stream right now. Only 4 likes. What's up with that? You guys not
Come on, man.
You guys not like us like that? That's okay. Hey, you know what that means? We just got to do a better job.
Yes.
And entertaining the people and having, a great relationship with the listeners today.
Thank you to Kevin LeDuc in the chat as well. They do clear the stadium between games. That makes sense.
That's bogus.
It's 2 separate games.
Hey, you know where we don't do that?
Huh.
Right here at Dow Diamond. You get tickets into one game. You stay for both games. 2 for the price of 1. Lucky hot dog night tonight, by the way. And also half off beer. So I hope to see you guys at the ballpark today. With that being said, let's hit the news on this incredibly jam-packed Thursday morning full of sports. Sense the sarcasm.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Why did I just do this? I said, sense the What? Vakari's wearing off on me too much.
Like, John is not even here yet. Like, it's crazy play.
All right, we got something a little bit different for the news today. Kyle, you want to explain this one?
Yeah, so we are going to get into actually the news later, but The Athletic every week puts out a This Week in Sports trivia quiz, essentially, where it's just multiple choice questions of things that have been going on in sports. And so we're going to do it live.
All right.
First up.
You got yourself up in the stream right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joey Chestnut announced he would return to the Nathan's hot dog eating contest after being banned in 2024. Why was the 16-time champion banned?
Because he signed up to do a different sort of hot dog eating. No. He signed with a hot dog brand that wasn't Nathan's, right?
Yes, I believe so. There's 4 options here.
Oh.
That is one of them. Sponsorship conflict involving a plant-based meat brand.
That's it. I don't care what the other 3 options are. That's it.
The other ones are funny. criticized Mitt being unhealthy, caught cheating, and failed a test for performance-enhancing drugs.
How would one get caught cheating in a hot dog eating contest? What would be the way to cheat?
You throw them back by your head without people noticing. I don't know.
There's too many cameras. And what
There's no way
PEDs
to
would
cheat.
help you with this?
I don't know.
Is it whatever the opposite of Ozempic is?
If that is a thing.
If that is a thing.
Increases the appetite, yeah. Yes, you were correct.
Stretches your stomach out. Dude, I still can't get over watching him here 2 summers ago. So he warms up by doing this sort of stuff? The people...
I can't, dude. It's too gross
just
for me.
Stretches his cheeks, and then he does all these wiggles with his stomach to warm up. He's like, yeah, I need 5 or 10 minutes to warm up. What do you mean warm up? He's doing all these wiggles. It was crazy.
Look, I'll stand behind my take that he is the GOAT of all GOATs.
No.
He is the GOAT in his sport. Bigger than any other GOAT.
Michael Phelps.
No. Chestnut.
Yes. Phelps.
Chestnut. Sorry, Phelps. All
What's
right.
the next question?
What NBA team gave up a package that included 4 first-round picks to acquire Memphis guard Desmond Bane in a shocking trade?
Orlando. Come on, man.
Yeah.
This needs to be a little harder.
It's too easy. All right, next. Jalen Williams, only 24, became the 3rd youngest player to score 40 points in an NBA Finals game as OKC beat Indiana in Game 5. Who is the youngest player to score 40 in a Finals game? Do you want me to give you the options for this one?
No.
Ooh. I think I know the answer, but I also saw the options.
Give me the options.
Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson.
Did Magic score 40 the day he played center in 1980 as a rookie?
Right, and that was rookie Magic.
I don't know if he actually scored 40 in that game.
I was leaning Kobe in that game where Shaq fouls out and he takes over.
You don't know the answer? You haven't done the quiz?
No, I haven't done it.
That was before peak Kobe Bryant. What were the other two? I was going to guess
Russ
Jordan.
and LeBron. No, it's neither of those two.
I don't think it's Westbrook. I don't think it's LeBron.
No.
Shoot. Let's go with... I'm going to go with Magic. You do whatever you want.
I mean, I have to click for both of us here, so I'll go Magic. It is Magic, yes. It was 1980 Finals.
As a rookie. There we go.
20 years old. 40 ball. Crazy.
As a center, after playing point guard all season. No Kareem. I was thinking about that earlier this week. Could you imagine if a rookie point guard decided, I'm going to play center in an NBA Finals game because at that point, probably the greatest player of all time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, injured, and some rookie guard's just I'm going to switch positions and win Finals MVP.
Well, he's not some rookie guard, but I get what you're saying.
That would never happen today, I guess, is my point.
Well, there's also not 6'9" guards just floating around.
That's true. It's true.
All right, what NFL coach gave advice to actor Jason Sudeikis on how his Ted Lasso character should dress?
I'm going to need the options.
Man.
I'm out of the loop on this headline.
Kevin O'Connell, Mike Tomlin, Jim Harbaugh, and John Harbaugh.
I feel like this is some...
I feel like I heard about this.
This is the first time hearing about it. I feel like this is something Jim Harbaugh would do. I don't know. He's so locked into football that maybe he's not into anything else. Who's the first person you said?
Kevin O'Connell.
Who are they giving advice to?
They're giving advice to Jason Sudeikis on how his Ted Lasso character should dress. You ever watch Ted Lasso?
No.
I haven't either.
I don't even know what it's
love
about,
it,
to be
though.
honest. I don't know. Let's go with Mike Tomlin.
It is definitely not Mike Tomlin, but I'll pick him.
Go. Yeah.
It was Jim Harbaugh. You were on the right track. All right, next. The Boston Red Sox traded Rafael Devers to the San Francisco Giants on Sunday. Which former Boston player reacted to the news by saying, "I knew it wasn't going to end well"?
Big Papi.
Makes sense because the other 3 options are all currently still in Major League Baseball. Don't know why anyone would say that. Yes, it was Big Papi. Man, what's up with the Red Sox just having all these relationships ending poorly with their star players?
Mookie Betts, Babe Ruth.
Yeah. It's just bad. What WNBA player has applied to trademark the term knee bounds, which internet trolls have used to disparage her game?
It's got to be Angel Reese, right?
Yeah,
it's the first time
I actually
about
saw this one. She says she's embracing the trolls, so shout out to her for doing that.
Dude, good. Every sport needs a villain, and she has embraced the villain role. I love Angel Reese, man.
Yeah, a couple more here. Florida beat Edmonton in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final to clinch its second straight championship. Before Florida, what was the last team to go back-to-back? I think I know this one.
Tampa. They did it recently.
Yes.
They went for the three-peat.
It is Tampa.
Yeah.
2020 and 2021. That's light. All right, I think there's three more. Arkansas pitcher Gage Wood threw the third no-hitter in College World Series history. What was the only thing that kept Wood's outing from being a perfect game? Did you see this?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. It's just all the options, like HBP, walk, error, drop third strike.
There's no way it's a drop third strike. Let's go with hit by pitch. It's college. Things begin wild.
Hey, you're right. Nice.
Yeah.
So he went no walks, just hit a guy. That's crazy. What soccer team won its opening match at the Club World Cup by a record score of 10-0?
This is going to sound... people are going to make fun of me for this.
Let me give you the options before you say anything.
Please do.
The Seattle Sounders, which is an MLS team, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, and the Boca Juniors. I knew you weren't going to say any of those four. So
read it again. What's the question?
What soccer team won its opening match at the Club World Cup by a record score of 10-0?
There's no way it's the MLS team. So I'll go with... Name one of the options again.
Bayern Munich, Boca Juniors, Paris Saint-Germain.
Let's go with the juniors.
It was Bayern Munich. Yeah.
So close. So close.
Last one. Which golfer clinched his victory at the U.S. Open by sinking a 64-foot putt on the 18th hole?
JJ Spawn.
Shout out to JJ Spawn. We scored 8 out of 10.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
All right. That's going to do it for today's morning Mitt catch. Thanks to The Athletic. What are our expectations for the highest paid freshman ever? That is next year. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Due to inclement weather, the Loons did not play last night. The series will go on as scheduled, meaning back to action tonight at 7:05 p.m. Hockey Hot Dog Night, a fireworks Loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance, and of course a Thirsty Thursday brought to you by J.P. O'Sullivan. On Tuesday, the series got kicked off with a Great Lakes win. Carlos Rojas played hero with a 2-run single in the 8th.
The 1-1. Rojas swings, chopper up the middle. That will sneak through. Nevin scores. Vetrano hits third. Honeyman will scoop, but no throw to make. Right up the gut. And Rojas puts 2 on the board. Great Lakes takes the lead. Here in the 8th, it's 8-7.
Tonight also, the Loons will transform into the Malmo Oat Milkers. Our pregame coverage starts at 6:50, first pitch at 7:05 here on 100.9 The Mitt.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm going to go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
Hey everyone, Brad Tunney here with the Mitt. And I want to talk to you about my friends over at Maple Hill Nursery, one of the great local family-owned businesses in our region for over 40 years. Now, their specialty is in landscaping with expertise and high-quality trees, plants, and shrubs. They're also a full stocking dealer of Dairy Dew, and they've got polywood furniture. Now, I've got it all over my backyard. It's maintenance-free and long-lasting and comes in 18 different colors. Stop by Maple Hill Nursery, just 2.5 miles north of the Midland Mall on Eastman.
Discover championship golf with amazing views at Apple Mountain in Freeland. Whether you're chasing birdies or just out for a relaxing round, Apple Mountain offers a stunning 18-hole experience for every skill level. Perfect greens, scenic fairways, and a course that plays as beautifully as it looks. Book your tee time now at applemountain.com. Apple Mountain. Golf elevated. Just minutes from Saginaw, but miles from the ordinary.
Step right up to Lucky Hot Dog Night with the Great Lakes Loons, Thursday, June 19th. Feeling lucky? Golden tickets will be hidden in the wrappers of our hot dogs throughout the game. It's Thirsty Thursday, presented by J.P. O'Sullivan Distributing, with half-off beer all night. And we'll have a post-game fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Football season's a lot closer than people realize. The Lions actually will be in the middle of training camp about a month from today. Right? We're getting real pumped up. And that's really where things start to take off. But I was thinking about the college football season. So I think these days it's so hard to get ready for the college football season because there's so many transfer guys. You got still people like even to this day right now entering the portal, switching schools. Michigan just landed a quarterback last week. And the Michigan quarterback situation I do think is a little bit fascinating here because I don't think the question is whether or not Bryce Underwood is going to start for the Wolverines. He's being paid $12 million. He's the highest paid freshman ever. The question's not whether or not he's going to start. It's what's the expectation for Michigan this year when he does. Michigan has 13 starters coming back, and you got to be careful with the word starters in college football because, look, they qualified it as 13 guys are coming back that played and started in at least 6 games last year for Michigan. Now, one of those guys is Davis Warren, so really it's only 12 starters coming back. But Michigan didn't have a ton of offensive juice last year, and the one guy you could really rely on was Colston Loveland, and obviously he's now playing with the Chicago Bears, who the Lions will see twice a year. So what is the expectation for a guy who is coming in as the highest paid freshman of all time on a program that had a little bit of a down year last season, but at the end of the day, like expects to be in the playoffs every single year? New-ish coach. This is really the first year everything's going to feel normal. And I say normal, who knows? Sharon Moore could be gone for 5 games this year. He could be gone for the whole game, or whole season. No idea. No one knows what's going to happen with this NCAA thing that's looming. So let's just, for the sake of it, say, push that aside. Sharon Moore's going to be there. Everything's going to be normal. What is the expectation for a Bryce Underwood? I have 2 very different ways of thinking about this. The first way would be this guy's getting paid $12 million. He's amongst the highest paid college athletes in the country. So the expectation should be to deliver right away with no, buffer time. Right? With no, hey, he's still figuring things out. That shouldn't be the case. High speed, $12 million, man. $12 million plus probably a lot more endorsements. What's going on? You're not getting paid to go out in the field and be bad. But that goes against everything that I've been saying about Aiden Childs. And you know me, I'm not trying to be biased towards one school or the other. Right, Kyle? So,
right.
The way I've been thinking about the Aiden Childs situation is I would like to buy stock in Aiden Childs because he was 18 years old last year. And you look at around college football, there are quarterbacks that have played for 4, 5, 6 years who are 24 years old. There's some that are 25 years old. And now I think the most important development is happening in college rather than your first couple years in the NFL. The NFL you should be picking up on things a lot more quicker because in college you have so much experience under your belt. Bo Nix, most experience in college football history, right? You're going to see a lot more of that. And guys coming into the draft a lot more NFL ready this season. That's why I think we need to pump the brakes on Arch Manning a little bit. Yeah, he's got the name. Yeah, he's got the glamour. He's played in just a handful of games and has started in only 2. Right? You're going to have guys this season that really break out because they're in their 5th year and they finally have clicked some things together, the same way Bo Nix figured it out in the later stages of his college football career. So when it comes to Bryce Underwood, it's like, okay, we got to pump the brakes on our expectations because he's 18 years old trying to figure out Ohio State and Penn State's defense and Oklahoma's defense early on in this season, in his first year playing at the college football level, where he finally is not the most maybe he still is going to be the most athletic guy on the field at all times, because he certainly could just get away with whatever he wanted at the high school level. He was a unit, a beast, a different sort of specimen than any guy he shared the field with. And that could still be true at the college football level, but he's going to have to, really figure things out in the early stages. Again, he's 18 years old. And if I had to pick one side or the other to go towards, it's going to be towards the 18-year-old thing where it's like, it's going to take him a few years to develop. But I already know what's going to happen. The first time he struggles when he's out on the field, $12 million. That's going to get brought up again. I don't think there's going to be much of a gray area for Bryce Underwood this season in the way that people discuss him. People are going to expect Michigan to be in the playoffs and are not going to be waiting around for him to figure things out, which is fair when you're being paid that much money and you are the highest overall recruit to ever step foot on the campus of Michigan. But at the same time, this kid's he's a kid. He's 18. And you've got quarterbacks, peers of his, that have 4 or 5 years more experience than he does. I would say if I'm a Michigan fan, pump the expectations just a tiny bit. Think the world of this guy. Believe that he's going to turn out and be the best 5-star recruit Michigan's ever had, the number 1 recruit in the country. Believe he's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft that's 3 years down the line. But your expectation this season, I think, needs to be brought back just a little bit. Would you be happy with 9 wins? Because if I'm a Michigan fan, I see 9 wins. You beat Ohio State, I'll take that. And 9 wins without a win over Ohio State changes the story a little bit. 9 wins when you lose to Penn State, Ohio State, changes the story a little bit. But if you can beat Ohio State and get 9 wins, I think you got a chance to make the playoffs, and I think that's all you should ask for. The over-under is 8.5 with a lot of juice on the over. So if you can hit that, I think you're straight chilling this season. You get a
right, but the NIL has completely changed how people view these incoming freshmen and transfers and everything. How many true freshmen start at quarterback in these power conferences like the Big Ten? Obviously, Viola last year at Nebraska, but it doesn't happen very often. Specifically at Michigan, a team that has major expectations, winning a national championship 2 years ago, and then obviously following it up with a subpar season. I mean, I know Michigan fans aren't too mad about it because it was coming off of a natty, but
they ended it on a high note. That's the unfortunate
for sure.
Part
beat Ohio State, but if they didn't beat Ohio State last year, Michigan fans are in the dumps about last season. They still went 5-4 in the Big Ten, 7th in the conference. Kind of crazy in the first year of it being expanded. I'm just interested specifically to Michigan fans. What do they think Bryce Underwood is going to be this upcoming season? Because they obviously been adding to that QB room just to have some vets there. Obviously not to take Bryce Underwood's spot or anything.
Davis Warren not competing for that spot? I'm just kidding.
Right.
Kidding.
So.
Bad joke, sorry.
Well, Michigan is still, this is a team that had 2 first-round picks, 4 guys that went in the first 2 rounds. I know you talked about bringing the starters back, but a team that went 8-5 that lost a lot of NFL talent. Mm-hmm. And now this 18-year-old kid is coming in to take the reins. It can't be any worse than the quarterback play last year, and that's for sure.
And you can like Sharon more, but he's not Jim Harbaugh. He's not here to just guarantee you 9 wins every single season. That's not the case. And again, we're ignoring the fact that we have no idea how long or how much time Sharon Moore is going to be with Michigan this season. And unlike the Jim Harbaugh suspension 2 years ago when the Big Ten suspended him, he was still allowed to be at practices throughout the week. He just couldn't be there on game days. This year, with the new rules, this isn't just a Michigan thing. This is just a new NCAA thing. If they decide to suspend Sharon Moore, which I'd be shocked if they didn't, he can't be there at practice. He's uninvolved in the game plan. The keys to the team are handed off to somebody else. That matters. That's going to cause some ripple effects for a team. I don't know how it couldn't, So I'm very curious to see what happens this season for that Wolverine team. 989-837-6125. Dwayne from Bay City, one of our dear listeners and best friends of the show. Dude, Michigan is in a way better situation than MSU. Never said they weren't.
Yep, never brought up MSU.
Never brought up, yeah, nope. I'll keep reading. Sharon Moore is not new. He will be fine. We have Bryce, and we will trust Bryce Underwood. Ben, you are so worried and whining about Michigan, and you are from CMU, and you have an Aiden Childs man crush. Oh, man.
Hey, look, CMU's going to have their head coach in that game, Dwayne.
That's true.
That's all I got to say.
We got to get Drinkle on at some point this summer.
For sure.
We got to make some calls, make that happen. Yeah, if I was going to do a bit that's like, well, if CMU has their coach and Michigan doesn't, I don't know. Probably still unlikely. But if there's going to be a year for CMU to pull off the unthinkable, it probably would be this season with a freshman quarterback. Look, I'm not saying obviously Michigan's in a much better situation than Michigan State. I don't think that's debatable. That's not a topic that we're entertaining. I just made the
But is Michigan going to be disappointed if they go 9-3?
I don't know.
That's the question we're asking.
I don't think they should be. But I think the 9-3 is not as irrelevant as if you beat Ohio State. That seems to be the only thing that matters now.
What's more important, beating Ohio State or making the playoff?
I would say making the playoff since Ohio State just lost to Michigan and won a national championship. But I think every Michigan fan would tell me I'm crazy.
Fans would say beating Ohio State.
Yeah, because dude, we got Michigan fans that text into the show or the old show, The Payoff. They're like, I'd rather beat Ohio State than win a natty. What are we talking about then? What's the point of the postseason then in college
They're
football?
only saying that because Ohio State won the natty.
No, this was years ago. This was before Michigan even won their national championship. I don't care about that. Let's just beat Ohio State. What are we talking about? You think Ohio State would trade in? There's definitely Ohio State fans that would, but I think
they're natty for beating Michigan last year?
Yes.
No way.
There are definitely Ohio State fans that think that. I think that's crazy. But I'd much rather have a national championship than a win over a rival.
Obviously.
Yeah. But I don't think it's that obvious is the thing. These fan bases hate it. There's nothing like this rivalry.
I get it.
It's the game. The game that has been devalued here with the 12-team playoffs, now expanding to 16 eventually. It used to be winning in. Last game of the season. You win that game, you're in the 14 playoffs. It doesn't feel as sacred anymore, unfortunately. 989-837-6125. So, Bryce Underwood, I think the expectations need to be brought back just a little bit. But what are his chances of being the second player in college football history to achieve this? Stay tuned before you go. If you have boring floors, if you have sad showers, you got to change that. And Premier Tile and Stone is here to rescue your surfaces from the snooze zone. These folks turn tile into art. Kitchen, bathrooms, backsplashes, fireplaces. If it holds still, they'll tile it and make it look beautiful. Locally owned in Midland, but their work looks like it belongs in a magazine that charges $21 an issue. Giant selection of fancy stuff, porcelain, ceramic, natural stone, and materials you probably can't even pronounce. That's why I always hesitate on porcelain. Is it porcelain? I think it's porcelain.
Yes.
Stop dreaming and start scheming. Visit the showroom and let your interior designer run wild. That's Premier Tile and Stone, where your floors get fabulous and the grout gets glorious.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
Experience world-class golf and family fun at the Dow Championship. Returning to Midland Country Club June 23rd to the 29th. Come and see top LPGA professionals compete in the only team-based event on the tour. Explore interactive fan experiences, family-friendly activities, and delicious local food vendors. Plus, veterans and children under 17 get in free. Don't miss out. Visit DowChampionship.com today for more information.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the local job market. We're here in person. And we're locally owned, so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at Spherion.com to find your local Spherion office. Let's get to work.
Something happens when we can't be our true selves. You can hear it in our laughs. There's the half-hearted chuckle. The courtesy conference caller.
Yeah, great.
And of course, the I'm only laughing because I'm dating your daughter.
Oh, that's so true.
If you want to laugh for real, try having some Miller Lite with some friends. It works. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin beer.
Celebrate 4th of July with the Great Lakes Loons. Join us for our block party on Main, presented by the Michigan Army National Guard. Celebrate America's independence with face painting, balloon animals, the inflatable zone on the front lawn, and of course, America's pastime. The evening wraps up with a spectacular fireworks Loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. For tickets, visit loons.com. This isn't just baseball. It's the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mine stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford. From Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning. 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman. Football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, let's get to some texts here. I'm looking at the YouTube chat. Michael Prevey says the bet. My bet is Mikey Keeney starts the season as QB1 and Bryce gets mixed in and eventually takes over, kind of like what JJ did. I don't see it. I don't see it. He's getting paid $12 million.
$12 million.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I don't think you can be the highest paid player on the team and be sitting on the bench.
It's probably the smart route. Like, it's probably what they should do, but I don't know if you can with the money.
Dwayne said, you guys are calling Bryce Underwood a kid. Like, you guys are 40. You guys are kids. Pump the brakes. Damn haters. What did we even say? I don't even know what we said. I like Bryce Underwood.
I think I just said that's an 18-year-old kid starting at QB getting paid $12 million. I mean, he is, maybe he's not a kid, We're not 40, but he is younger than us, respective to our ages. So
no, I'm a full-grown adult. I like golf. Put some money in the stocks this weekend. You know.
Oh, right. Okay. Based on your stocks on Monday, I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
I said before the break, Bryce Underwood could be the second player in college football to ever do this. Actually, after I looked during the break, he could be the first player to ever do this. I don't think he will be, but what do you think the odds are that he wins the Heisman? I haven't pulled up.
I mean, it's got to be plus 15,000.
No, way less. Way shorter.
They think he could?
I mean, he's still
plus
like 20th on the list. He's plus 6,000. And no true freshman has ever won the Heisman. The only two freshmen to ever win the Heisman were Johnny Manziel and Jameis Winston. But in terms of true freshmen, it's never been done before. And I do think that he has a unique chance to do it because of this. If Michigan can kind of stack up wins early on in the year without Sharon Moore, I think he slowly starts working his way into that conversation because it's the big brand. He's got some big-time games early on, like against Oklahoma, like against Nebraska, and he's doing it without his coach. I think that comes into play here because the Heisman, maybe more than any other award, is a narrative award, it feels like. They don't really care about the sheer numbers, the sheer volume of passing touchdowns and stuff like that. They do care about the wins, and if Michigan can continue to win and gets to 10, 11 wins on the season with their coach coming in and out of play, with a win over Ohio State, with a true freshman quarterback, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I would be, but
I would be shocked. Most people should be shocked.
The thing that's in his favor is there's not like a huge favorite going into the year. Like Arch Manning is the favorite at plus 700, but I think that's like, I would not touch that.
That's just because they know people are going to bet on him, so they're making him the favorite.
Right. I don't think he's at all up there in terms, like, the thing he's got going for him is the team is really good. All the surrounding roster around Arch Manning is great, so they're going to be able to stack up wins, but Arch Manning's pretty raw still, man. He started 2 games last year for Texas. I don't know why everyone kind of just assumes he's going to the draft.
Yeah, he's been chalked into number 1 overall pick
I don't
already.
even know if he's going to be in the draft next year. Like, there's no reason he has to go to the draft next season if he's doesn't think he's going to be quarterback 1, and I don't think he is going to be. You got to have more experience nowadays. Who do you think is 2, 3, 4 to win the Heisman? Who do you think else is at the top of this?
I would guess Garrett Nussmeier is right in the mix.
Number 2 plus 800.
My pick, which I don't know how high he's going to be, where's Lenora Sellers at?
Ooh, I'm glad you brought him up. Plus 1,900. He's about 10th-ish.
Really?
Man,
that's good value, dude.
He's something else. And South Carolina, is still going to... They lost a couple guys on that defense.
Right.
But they still got Dylan Stewart, who might be the scariest defensive player in the country, playing that edge position.
Did you see the comments that his dad made, Sellers' dad?
No. We got more dads involved. Let's go.
It was like a not a bad dad thing, though. Basically, he was being asked about like the NIL offers for Sellers to transfer this year to go to a bigger school. And he said, you're a 19-year-old kid. You don't need $8 million.
Oh.
Which, it's a different perspective, right? A lot of people feel the exact opposite way.
If only Nico Alimava's dad thought like that.
Right.
What do you think he is?
Is he up there? I was just going to say, he might have decent odds.
No.
2,500?
People aren't big fans of Nico these days. Yeah, I mean, he had a pretty disappointing year. He's plus 8,000. He's got longer odds than Bryce Underwood.
That's absurd. Where's Jeremiah Smith? He's probably the top non-QB, right?
4th at plus 1,300. That'd be my pick.
Really?
I had Travis Hunter last year. I would be going with Jeremiah Smith this year. The quarterbacks don't stick out. There's a lot of them, but there's not like one over.
Wait, so I got 1, 2, and 4. I didn't get 3
or 5. Yeah.
Drew Aller.
Drew Aller's 5th plus 1,400. Not a bad pick. DJ Lagway also plus 1,800. Also not a bad pick.
Aller's not winning the Heisman. Cade Klubnik's got to be the third guy.
Cade Klubnik, Clemson, the bounce back season. This is another example of like a guy who, everyone was kind of down on because he was given the keys to Clemson, a huge, big-time program as a freshman, and it was ultimately disappointing. I have a hard time like handing the keys to a big-time program like that. as a freshman and expecting anything but disappointment at this point because you just had the wide variety of ages. Cade Klubnik's the guy who I think could have a total bounce back season and actually be in that running for the Heisman Award. It's just I can't wait for this college football season, man. We got a lot of good stuff going into it in terms of a lot of turnover. Teams are going to look a lot different. Okay, 10 o'clock hour coming up. We've got a lot of good stuff. You've heard the name. You get to know the man. That is at 10:30. We've got an Around the League that I'm excited about coming up. Stay tuned. Hour number 2 coming up. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Looking for the perfect golf getaway? Tee up at Sandy Ridge Golf Course, Midland's hidden gem. Whether you're a scratch golfer or just out for fun, Sandy Ridge offers a beautifully maintained 18-hole course, friendly staff, and unbeatable rates, plus a brand new clubhouse. Book your tee time today at sandyridgegolfcourse.com or call 989-631-6010. Sandy Ridge Golf Course, where great golf meets pure Michigan beauty.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Wackadoo! Bluey and her little sister Bingo are joining the Great Lakes Loons again this summer for Red, White, and Bluey Weekend presented by My Michigan How. It's 2 games of fun, laughter, and memories with our favorite Blue Healer. Whether it's Saturday night or Sunday afternoon, don't miss out. For tickets, visit loons.com. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got it. On Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader. From the Blasey Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
No Detroit Tigers yesterday. Doubleheader today. We've got Paul Skenes pitching game 2. We've got Tarek Skubal pitching game 1. Just a lost opportunity to not have those two guys go toe-to-toe against each other in what would have been an epic clash of the two best pitchers in baseball. Who am I going to piss off the most? What fan base would I piss off the most by saying that, discrediting someone?
The Phillies fans, maybe? Zach Wheeler, Braves fans, Chris Sale.
Yeah. No, I still feel like I'd just rather have Skenes. Right. All right, so no Tigers yesterday, but we've got a doubleheader, like I said. But the trade deadline's still looming. Always is. July 31st. So we're a little over a month away. And The Athletic put out a piece that was basically, hey, here are the top, I'll just read the headline. MLB trade deadline big board 1.0. The top 30 players in a post-Devers trade worlds. Tim Britton Aaron Gleeman, and Eno Saris all working on this piece. So they basically have, let's see, 30 different players that they want to see traded here at the deadline. I want to go through some of these and say whether or not they'd be good fits for the Tigers. All right, Kyle? So the first person they have on the board is right back to Boston. I kind of share the same ideology that, hey, if Boston starts losing here, which they haven't been, but if they do start losing and are forced to sell at the deadline, the number one person they think to be moved is Jarren Duran. Now, probably not a good fit for the Tigers. They are not in need of any outfielders despite dealing with all those injuries at the beginning of the season. But hey, adding someone like that would be great for the Tigers in theory, but not really any room for him on this roster. So I'm gonna pass on that one. You?
Yeah, not a great fit.
Not a great fit.
I like Duran's game. Not a good fit.
Freddie Peralta, another starting pitcher that could get added to the bunch. A right-handed pitcher, 29 years old. What do you think? Controlled through 2026, so a few years you'd get this arm.
Peralta's really good. Why would the Brewers be dealing him, though? That's my only question. Like, they're still in it. They're in the wild card race right now. They're trailing the Cubs by a good amount in the Central, but I don't really understand why the Brewers would be dealing him. He'd be pretty pricey as well, being one of the better pitchers in all of the National League. So, I don't know. I'm kind of out on this one. I do prefer the Tigers to get a starting pitcher over a position player. I just don't see this one happening.
What about over a bullpen arm? Would you rather have a starting pitcher or a bullpen arm at this point?
I would rather have bullpen because it's going to be cheaper and it's probably the bigger need. But if there's a splash to be made, I would prefer it to be a starter.
Cedric Mullins is their third guy on the list. I love Cedric Mullins. One of, I think, the more fun players to watch here, and at least in the American League. But again, a center fielder, so not really a good fit. Sandy Alcantara, that is the person we threw out last week. I think it's getting more and more likely that he is getting traded. We talked about last week finding this year's Jack Flaherty, who's going to be the best pitcher that gets dealt, the best starter that gets dealt at the deadline. Obviously, the Tigers on the selling end of that last season, but now looking to be on the buying end of it this year. The thing with Sandy is he's having the worst season of his career, right? The ERA starts with a 7. Very bad. Had Tommy John a year and a half ago on a struggling Marlins team. I think if you give him some run support, introduce him to Chris Fetter, you could really turn this guy around and improve his numbers in the second half of the season. The thing is, he's going to cost a good amount because he's got team control through 2027. So he's got a decent amount of years left on that contract. It's not like this is a rental opportunity whatsoever. But you would probably have to give up some guy in the top 100.
And it could go wrong. Like, the contract isn't a good one.
Right.
I think I'm out
$17 million in 2026.
Yeah.
$21 million in 2027.
You talk about how he's been bad this year. I mean, he hasn't been good in 3 years.
No,
obviously
he
missed
wasn't
an entire
disastrous.
year due to injury.
This year has been disastrous for him.
But he wasn't good the year after his Cy Young season.
No, he wasn't.
So,
I picked him 1.01 in my fantasy baseball league.
Really?
And the season was over
he was
really
a cheat
quick.
code. He would go 8 innings every game and strike out 12 guys, throw 100 pitches every game. Of course he had to get Tommy John. So I liked the idea when you brought this up, but the more and more I've thought about it, I'm pretty out on acquiring Alcantara.
You don't think there's a Chris Fetter factor here, or it's just like, hey, introduce X struggling pitcher into Chris Fetter? Like, those numbers are going to improve. We have so much evidence. Even Jack Flaherty himself was not pegged to be a starter anymore after he got traded from St. Louis to Baltimore. Like, he was done.
He was really bad in Baltimore.
He was done. And the
There
Tigers
was
were
much
like,
less
let's get him in
risk,
here.
though. You didn't give up anything to
Correct.
get Flaherty. You signed him to a 1-year, hey, prove it deal. And obviously he turned it around for sure. This is just so much more risky. You have to give up stuff, and it could go wrong, whereas you could lose this trade easily.
But
I like the guy
also
a
would
couple
be
names
buy
lower.
low. It'd be a buy low situation. Like, maybe I said you have to give up a top 100 prospect. Maybe you don't have to, because if Miami asks for that, and
I don't
you're
think
Scott
you do.
Harris, you just basically say, dude, he sucks this year. You're lucky we're taking him off your hand and taking on the contract. We're not giving up a top 100 prospect. So let's throw this out there. You got to give up Jace Young, you got to give up Hao Yu Lee, and one other prospect that's not in the top 100. So not Brinseno, not McGonigal, not Clark, not Tyrone. Is there
None
another
of the
one?
top 5 Tigers.
Is there another one in the top 100? I think there's only 4
Clark,
now.
McGonigal, Rayner, Briseño.
Oh, Rayner, that's the one I forgot.
Yes.
And he's not getting traded because he's
I don't think they would
out for
trade
the
him
season.
with him being injured, yeah.
So let's say it's Sweeney, it's Jace Young, Hao-Yu Lee. You wouldn't do this?
One of the pitcher prospects, I think.
Sure, Dylan
Maybe like
Smith.
Troy Melton, who's been kind of balling a little bit in the minor leagues.
Sure.
I would just rather get a different starter. That's how I feel.
Okay.
I would rather take the risk on a rental on a guy who's 2 names down on this list in Zach Gallen.
Okay, let's talk about Zach Allen then. Why is he your
That's the
preferred
guy
person?
who I would like to get. It is a rental, which
you don't
I
have to
don't
give
know, I
up
feel
as
like
much.
you don't give up as much, exactly. And those are the type of guys you actually see get moved at the deadline. And Gallen has been, he's another guy that's having a poorer year this season, but he's been really good the last several seasons on a good Diamondbacks team that I believe is going to sell with Corbin Burns being out for the year. So I prefer acquiring Gallen as the 1A starting pitcher to get.
Completely fair. If Sandy was on a expiring contract.
Yeah, then I totally flip my opinion.
Okay. So this is just about the contract and not wanting to take on the risk.
Just because we know what the Tigers' situation is, right? If they have a guy in Sandy who's on contract for $20+ million the next couple of years, that just hinders the way they operate in free agency. You get what I'm saying?
I guess, but if
they're not
he's
going to pay
pitching
somebody
well,
else.
what difference does it make? Like, you got to spend the money regardless, and you get off the Cobb contracts this season. Flaherty costs way less next season. He's only $10 million hit to the payroll. So it's like, there's $25 million right there. That's basically, with the way Flaherty's contract is set up and Alex Cobb not being on the team anymore, that's basically the money. It's not like it's like a ridiculous contract. It's not great.
No,
but it's not like it's some
currently
absurd
right now
number.
it's a bad contract.
Yes.
With the way he's playing.
Yes. In Miami.
Of course.
Suarez, number 5 on this list. And this is a name that we've floated out a few times. 33-year-old third baseman. Has the power. I think he had 21 home runs on the season. But a disaster at third base. Negative run value, negative outs above average. The Tigers are already the worst outs above average team at the third base position this season. Why would they try to add someone who's would make them even worse at that position?
I can't get behind this take of yours. The position already is bad defensively, and you're just improving that bat immensely. So you're telling me you would rather just get a guy that's some specialist at defense at third base but can't hit for crap?
No, I'd rather get Alex Bregman. Would be my preferred person to go get.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Who I don't think is going to pop up on this list.
It just seems to me like you are prioritizing defense over offense, which to me just seems kind of silly.
I wouldn't say I'm prioritizing offense over defense, but this is also an expiring
Suarez
contract.
fits the need, like pretty heavily. A power right-handed bat on the left side of the infield.
Who does better against, he has reverse splits though. Like the idea behind getting another right-handed bat is to
so
hit
a righty who hits
pitching.
righties? That's awesome.
But isn't the idea that the Tigers need another righty because they need to hit better against left-handed pitching? And this guy has reverse splits.
Suarez would play every day. It doesn't matter. He's an everyday guy.
And then what happens? Javi Baez or Zach McKinstry is just out of the lineup. Only one of those guys can play every day.
Yeah, he's better than both of them.
Again, I'm not going to complain about that. If one of those guys is knocked from the lineup, just because we like him. I mean, if you've got a chance to upgrade, do it. And obviously, this is a guy that's been in the Tigers farm system before, so it's kind of full circle moment for him. But I don't know. I'd like to shoot a little bit higher in terms of landing someone.
As far as all the names you've said so far, though, this one's probably the most likely to be a Tiger.
Yeah.
The Athletic also put out a 6 trades they would like to see happen, and this was on one. This was on it.
Suarez to the
Tigers for Jaden Ham and Max Anderson, which Ham, I believe, is the 7th ranked Tigers prospect. Yeah, number 7. Max Anderson, just outside the top 20. So it's not that much, obviously, season expiring.
The other person I wanted to bring up is all the way at 16 on this list, and that would be Aroldis Chapman. Come on. When Aroldis Chapman looks so good in the English D, in the white jerseys.
I love this one.
He
would sell jerseys, too. People would buy a Chapman Tigers jersey.
If they had some success, yeah, you're right. If they had some success in the postseason, too, he could be viewed as, like, suddenly a legend in another city. He's already kind of a legend, a handful of cities. And if they could land a guy like Aroldis Chapman at the deadline, that I think is a legit game changer for how you should think about the Tigers in the postseason. I mean, I already kind of think they're the best team in the American League. But if they could fix their issue, not with a Band-Aid, but by taking a risk on a reliever, but bringing like one of the most established relievers and closers there are in baseball, and suddenly going into a series, you've got Canely, who's got the nasty changeup. You got Chapman, who can still hit 100, and then you've got Vest in the mix too. That is a real tangible thing. It's like, yet our bullpen was a problem. Now it's one of our strengths. Because then you don't have to deal with guys like Herter and Brisky's not on the team anymore, and Hannafy as much. If you've got 3 legitimate closers that you can go 7th, 8th, and 9th inning with, you just basically begging your starter to go 6 innings, and you should be good after that. And even if they can't go 6 innings, it's like, hey, Vest, we need 1 1/3 inning. Canely, we need 1 1/3 inning, and then Chapman, come close things out.
Definitely the biggest need, and him being the lefty as well that they really don't have as the high leverage lefty, for sure should be number 1 trade target for Detroit.
If Canely is your 3rd best closer reliever guy, you're in a great situation. Because Canely's nasty, man. I don't understand it, being able to throw the changeup that often and it not get hit. I really like when they made the move and signed him, and you're doing your homework on him. It's like, wait, this guy threw like 34 straight changeups in the playoffs. How do people not crush that? And I still don't really understand it, but it works.
It's just because he has the variations of changeups, right? It's like, yes, he throws only changeups, but it's a couple different types of changeups with different movement, and it makes it so tough.
And the exact precision on where he wants it. And then he'll hit you with a 94 mile per hour fastball.
And then the random splash of the fastball.
Yeah,
exactly.
He uses it the opposite way like a Skubal would. It's like, here's my fastball bunch, and then here's my changeup. You're going to look like an idiot. Canely gets you to relax a little bit, and then if you're behind on the fastball, you can't hit anything. So he keeps you on his toes. He's one of my... Vesta's definitely better, but I kind of enjoy watching Canely a little bit more.
And he's a weirdo, too.
Canely?
Which is awesome.
Yeah, he shaves his entire body when he gives up a run. Probably the strangest headline I've read this year for the Tigers. By far.
Yes.
By far. All right, let's take a trip around the league next. And speaking of taking trips, dude, I got to take a lot of trips around the rough, around the green when I go play golf. Really anywhere, even the one and only Sandy Ridge. You guys can tee up at Sandy Ridge Golf Course, Midland's hidden gem where every round feels like a little bit of a getaway. Now featuring a brand new clubhouse. We were there last week. Kyle can confirm. Very cool. Part lounge, part hangout.
Gotta get back.
All class, perfect for cooling down or talking smack after 18. Smooth greens, scenic fairways, and enough birdies to make your buddies jealous. Not Kyle and I. Well, maybe Kyle. You hit a birdie when we went, right?
No, I didn't.
Whether you're a weekend warrior or just in it for the vibes, Sandy Ridge brings the game and the chill. Book a tee time, online, plan your outing, or just stop by and pretend you know how to read a green. Sandy Ridge Golf Course, the hidden gem that is the hidden gem that's way too good to stay a secret. Kyle, you abandoned me. I thought we were going to go golfing this Saturday, but you're going all the way up to the Mackinac area and doing a little golf trip of your own.
I'm going on a golf trip this weekend, playing twice, so...
18
might go hit
twice?
the range after the show today. I need to get together.
You're playing 18 twice?
Yes.
That's a lot of golf.
I haven't played 18 once this year. So, a lot of golf. Really need to hone things in prior.
I feel like you got to explain your Meyer trip that you explained to me pre-show right now. Sorry to put you on the spot, but it's relevant.
This is good because you didn't answer the question earlier about like what you did last night. I'll say what I did last night. I went and played hoops, and then I went to Meyer and needed to acquire some goods for the golf trip this weekend. And I spent nearly $100 on alcohol, which is just...
So I didn't ask you this when you told this to me earlier. What are you making? Because you said you had some like special drink that you were
I'm bringing
making
like
for the golf course.
Some frozen lemonade, some spiked frozen lemonade to bring it out on the golf course. There's 10 guys, so it's like...
Wait, is this the golf course you were telling me about that just lets you bring alcohol on? Is that allowed?
That's what they say. BYOB.
I like it.
Pretty crazy. They're doing it different up there near the UP.
989-837-6125. We'll take a trip around the league when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. As a business owner, you might be struggling with today's technological advancements in the IT arena and how they could benefit your growing business. Let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
I'm here with Matt Smith with Modern Realty. All right, Matt, forecast 2025 for us.
Well, in 2025, I believe you're going to see a much more balanced market. We've been in a seller's market for a number of years. We're still not busting at the seams with inventory, but we are seeing the market start to balance out a little bit. That means it's still a really good time to get great value out of your home. But for the buyers out there, it also means that your path to home ownership should be a little bit easier.
It's July, it's hot, and Bounce & Bites is bringing the splash. Every bounce house, slide, and inflatable at our event will be soaked and ready for action. Water slides, splash zones, and giant slip and slides. Bring your swimsuits, towels, and sunscreen. We'll have the food trucks, the music, and a whole lot of good vibes. It's free to attend, and every dollar raised helps local kids get involved in sports, music, and more through the Moody Foundation. Join us Sunday, July 20th in Midland. Details at bounceandbites.com. The word bounce, the letter N, the word bites.com. The Moody Foundation, making a splash for a great cause.
Step right up to Lucky Hot Dog Night with the Great Lakes Loons, Thursday, June 19th. Feeling lucky? Golden tickets will be hidden in the wrappers of our hot dogs throughout the game. It's Thirsty Thursday, presented by J.P. O'Sullivan Distributing, with half-off beer all night. And we'll have a post-game fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, this is an Around the League that I've been very excited about. So without further ado, let's hit that sounder.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, usually Kyle takes the reins for this. I'm going to take the reins and put Kyle's ball knowledge.
Let's do it.
Actually, this isn't even like testing your ball knowledge. This is just like what you and I think versus what Aaron Schatz and Seth Walter think of ESPN. So they put out the top, well, not the top, the all quarter century team. So since 2000 to right now, 2025, over the course of these 25 years, they basically made an all-pro team. So let's see how much we, 100.9 The Mitt, the Ben Bosscher Show, agree with their list at ESPN.
So and this is first and second team, basically?
There's different amount of people chosen depending on the position group.
Okay.
So I've got the list pulled up. I know some of them, not all of them. So there's 3 quarterbacks chosen. How about you tell me who would be on yours, and then we're also kind of trying to predict who's listed. And the goal is to just be right?
Right, okay.
Okay.
Brady and Mahomes.
There's 3.
Are for sure on here.
Yes. So I think the third...
Peyton Manning the third?
It's either Manning, Rodgers, or Breeze. And I feel like it just has to be Manning. Because Manning's done it for the 2 franchises, 2 different coaching staffs, multiple Super Bowl appearances. Rodgers just has
MVPs.
the bunch of MVPs.
Most MVPs, I believe.
Rodgers has the 4. But Aaron Rodgers also...
5.
Rodgers only been there once. Drew Brees only been there once.
And I would just never pick Rodgers, too, you know?
We going with Manning?
I'd go with Manning.
Tom Brady, first quarterback. Peyton Manning, second quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, third. Good job. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, the running backs. There are
three
hard. Of them. There are 3 of them.
I think you got to go a lot of early in the century guys, right? Or in the quarter century guys.
Well, I think Adrian Peterson has to be on there.
Adrian Peterson for sure. And then you have some guys that were like LaDainian Tomlinson, obviously.
For sure. I think it just comes down to who the third guy is. Those guys have to be on it, right?
I would believe so. You've seen this, so.
Not all of it.
I'm just trying to think, would they put a recent guy on there? Would a Derrick Henry be on there?
I think I was going to say, I think Derrick Henry would be the last person for me.
Okay.
Are you good
I'll
with
rock
that?
with it.
LT,
I think so.
AP, the king.
Sure.
All right. First running back, Priest Holmes.
Chiefs, Priest Holmes?
And Ravens, but he played for the Ravens from 97 to 2000. So, those first 3 years shouldn't count towards this. What?
Wait, he's the first running back over Adrian Peterson?
He's the first running back chosen, yeah. 85 all-purpose touchdowns, 1-time Super Bowl champion, 1-time Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time All-Pro. I don't know.
AP's an MVP as a running back. 2K.
I don't like this. All right. Who do you think's not on this list
No
then?
disrespect to Priest Holmes, but...
Who do you think's not on here then? Henry?
So are the other... Are 2 of the 3 that we said on there?
I don't know. I've only seen Priest
Derrick
Holmes.
Henry's not on here then. For sure AP and LT.
Dude. Christian McCaffrey's the second running back on here.
I mean, I guess.
No.
I just figured if there was a recent guy, it would be Henry over McCaffrey.
It 1,000% should be Henry over McCaffrey. Mr. 2,000 yards and put the team on his back and almost went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
So okay, who is this third person?
Who's the third?
What?
It has to be AP.
It's Derrick Henry, dude.
What? So Henry still made it?
Wait, let me make sure there's only 3. They have a practice squad, and they have LaDainian Tomlinson. So they don't even have Adrian Peterson mentioned. Has no mention.
That's crazy. I was even leaning towards super early 2000s. Like Sean Alexander, didn't he win an MVP?
I believe he did.
Yeah, so that's what I was going towards. I was thinking it would be mainly early 2000s guys. That's pretty bad.
No Adrian Peterson is kind of hard to believe.
Priest Holmes, man. I mean, I call myself a ball knower. I obviously know Priest Holmes.
Maybe we got to do some Priest Holmes study after that.
He wasn't doing it like that.
Maybe after the show we do some Priest Holmes studying.
We might have to.
All right, there's one fullback.
Use check?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Wide receivers. There are 6 receivers listed. Again, this is the quarter century team.
This is super hard.
Okay, let's get the locks out of the way.
Megatron.
Randy Moss, Megatron.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay. Julio.
Those are 3 locks.
Julio.
Antonio Brown should be on here. Would they not put him on?
I feel like Jefferson would be on before AB.
No.
They gotta have one.
Those are the 6.
They gotta have one present guy
Those
playing.
are the 6.
AB and Jefferson? We did that too fast. We got to be forgetting one.
You have Devontae
person.
Adams who has a chance.
No.
Cooper Kupp, maybe just because of the peak Kupp year was so good. I don't think he would be on there though. But I mean, you have some good guys.
No
but
Odell,
not
right?
Hopkins.
No Odell. Tyreek Hill. All right, so
I think Hopkins
let's finalize
and Hill
this.
both have a chance.
We think it's Randy Moss. Wait. What about Terrell Owens?
Maybe
he would be on that over a bunch of guys we just listed.
Chad Johnson.
I'm gonna say Randy Moss.
Moss fits Megatron for sure.
Julio for sure, I think too.
So 4 locks.
I think Terrell Owens is a lock.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
You pick the last person. Those are 5. You going to AB?
I say AB. I think AB is the best out of that group.
All right, fire up. Randy Moss, first receiver. This is the actual list. Calvin Johnson, second.
Yep.
Julio Jones, third.
Okay.
Terrell Owens, fourth.
Ooh, nice. Good catch.
Oh, we screwed up. We forgot someone. Colts, 1996 to 2008.
Oh, Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
The fifth guy listed.
Yeah, we did forget Marvin Harrison.
All right, so who's sixth? It's got to be
One of the guys that we
Fitzgerald,
said.
right? It's got to be Fitzgerald, right?
It has to be Fitz. Yeah.
Oh, it's Jefferson.
You're right. They had to put a current guy, yeah. That's so dumb, dude.
Well, hold on, you're going to love this.
I love Jets.
The practice squad is Antonio Brown and Andre Johnson. No mention of Larry Fitzgerald. No mention of Fitzgerald. No mention of Adrian Peterson.
See, I figured
This
they
is
would
crazy.
keep AB off entirely just because he's AB and all the stuff that goes on with him.
Nah, man. Prime AB was
exactly. That's
something
how I
else.
feel. I think AB should be on the list, personally.
Over who?
But I also did say Jefferson was the best receiver we've seen since Calvin Johnson, so I guess I kind of have to...
Yeah, you're not taking Julio
back
off for
that.
AB.
No.
You're not taking Marv. You're not taking Terrell Owens. All right.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's either Jefferson or AB. So.
Let's go to tight ends. I accidentally just saw
No
the
Fitz
first
as well.
one. I accidentally
You
just
saw the first one.
Yeah, I just saw it. But it should be pretty obvious.
Kelsey? I didn't know if they'd have Kelsey first or not.
Gronk is first. I'd imagine
Gronk,
Kelsey is second.
Gonzalez.
It's got to be either Gonzalez or Gates, right?
Wait, how many tight ends is there?
3.
Gonzalez or I'd go Gonzalez over Gates, right?
I would too. All right. Gronk is 1. Travis Kelsey is 2. Tony Gonzalez is 3. Honorable mention, probably Gates. Yep. Okay, he's the practice squad. Do you want to skip over the left tackles in the offensive line?
Yeah, this would be kind of embarrassing. You know, I don't know him that well.
I'll fly through it. Joe Thomas, Trent Williams. For guards, Alan Faneka, Steve Hutchinson, Kelsey, the only center listed.
Zach Chips for Joe Thomas.
Zach Martin and Marshall Yanda, the 2 guards. And then right tackle, Lane Johnson and Willie Anderson. Okay. Edge rushers, there's 4 of them. I feel like J.J. Watt,
for sure.
Both of them or just J.J.?
Just J.J.? Maybe both.
Michael Strahan, I think, is a lock to be one of the 4.
Yeah.
You give Von Miller a look here?
I don't know. I mean, he is a Super Bowl MVP, so maybe. I'm just wondering if they have any current guys on. Well, there has been a current guy in all of these, right?
Yeah.
So who is the current guy? Is it Watt? Is it Garrett? It's probably Watt over Garrett.
I would say Garrett.
Watt has more depoys.
Who is the other defensive end on the Broncos team that won the Super Bowl? Not Von Miller.
DeMarcus Ware?
Yeah, he might get a look here too.
Nah. That'd be wild.
Are we already through the music? All right, we got to fly through this.
Restart it.
You want me to start this?
Yeah, just rip them off. I mean, we just named a good amount. Let's see how many we got right.
DeMarcus Ware's the first guy they list.
What?
Jared Allen is second.
Dude, I used to hate Jared
I
Allen.
still hate Jared Allen.
Oh, he was my actual least favorite player as a kid, I think.
Miles
before Rodgers.
Myles Garrett, 3.
We're way off. No J.J. Watt?
Julius Peppers, 4, man. No J.J. Watt. The practice squad is T.J. Watt and Michael Strahan.
They make these lists for type of stuff like this, for people to react the way we are.
Defensive tackles, there's 3 listed.
Aaron
There's
Donald.
only 1 that should matter. Aaron Donald. I would say Chris Jones has to be on this.
Let me know who's on it.
Chris Jones is 3rd. There's 1 other defensive tackle.
Vince Wilfork?
No, it's Calais Campbell. But the next option is nose tackle, and there's only 1, and that has to be Vince Wilfork, right?
Yes.
Correct.
I guess, yeah, for sure. He's his own thing.
All right, there's a category for versatile defensive linemen.
Is that
What does
T.J.
that
Watt?
mean?
Oh, wait, no.
He was already listed, but J.J. Watt wasn't.
Sure. I mean, he has to be on here somewhere.
Yeah, they made J.J. Watt his own little section.
Okay, that's dumb.
Linebackers, there's 5 of them.
Okay, Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner.
Ray Lewis.
Yeah. For sure, those 3.
Ray Lewis
Any
is 1.
outside guys.
Ray Lewis is 1. Bobby Wagner's 2.
Kuechly might not make it just because he was like short career.
No, Kuechly's 5.
Okay.
There's 2 in between. I looked. I peeked. One of them's still active, kinda. I guess I don't actually know what team he's on.
Kinda.
I think he's still on his team that he's always been on.
Oh, I'm struggling with this.
NFC South.
Demario Davis?
Levante David.
Oh, no, Levante David. Yes, yeah.
And then one played in the NFC North for 12 seasons. Went to a Super Bowl.
Clay Matthews?
No.
Ooh. Went to a Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Still in the NFL?
No. 2000 and 2012.
Brian Urlacher.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hated that guy,
I actually liked Urlacher, honestly.
5 corners listed.
Revis.
Darrelle Revis is number 1.
Sherman?
Sherman is on here as well.
Nice. Shout out to Sherman. Any other guys? Like Stephon Gilmore? He won a deep boy.
Yeah, there's one person who played last year. I think he's since hung it up. Long career. Kind of bounced around at the end.
Champ Bailey?
Champ Bailey's on here.
Okay.
Yeah. He hung it up about a decade ago.
Yeah. I was just a name that popped in my head.
This guy went from the Cardinals most of his career, played for the Vikings a couple
Pat
years.
Peterson.
Yep. And then the last one, 1997 to 2012, played for the Buccaneers. Mr. Baba. Rondé Baba.
Oh, yeah.
4 safeties. This is the last one. It's got to be Troy. It's got to be Ed Reed.
Yep.
Earl Thomas?
Ooh, that's a good one. What about Cam Chancellor, too?
All right, those are the 4 we're guessing. It's Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Brian Dawkins, and Earl Thomas.
Yeah, I should have got Dawkins.
I lied. There's one more. Kicker. This is going to make you mad, dude.
What do you mean?
This one's just stupid.
Who is it then?
Justin Tucker. How is it not Vinatieri?
Legatron?
Legatron, that's right. All right, that's going to do it for our trip around the league. I cannot believe Adrian Peterson's not on there. No mention
That's actually
of him.
the worst miss. Worst miss for sure.
And the Larry Fitzgerald one's pretty annoying too. But not having the MVP, the last running back to win MVP, what are we doing? We got to study up on what's his name's tape. I say as soon
Reese
as
Holmes.
Yeah, I say as soon as the show.
He
is
wasn't
done,
doing it like that.
Stay tuned. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Are you new to investing and not sure where to begin? Start by looking for a financial advisor who will offer you a strategy personalized for you and your family. One who will be there as your life and financial situation changes. I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we'll focus on what's important to you. We use an established process to create personalized financial strategies backed by the advice, tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we'll partner to help your strategy stay on track.
Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra rewards members this month. Let's clean up that yard. Save $3 instantly on select Roundup and Ortho weed killers. Save $10 on 64-ounce spruce, weed, and grass killer. You know what season it is? Grilling season. Free assembly and delivery on grills, $399 and up from brands like Weber and Traeger. Need that deck touched up? Do it and save $10 instantly on a gallon of Cabot exterior stain.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit MidlandFoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at MidlandFoundation.org.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition. The Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools. A $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament. And a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industry. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofframesfest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Michigan. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in, Ben Bosscher Show. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Typically, we do this on Fridays, but our director of sales, Sarah Stockford's here, and she's always got some blazing take for us.
I do.
And since you're not going to be here tomorrow, I figured let's just get you in and get your hot take of the week out of the way. So,
yeah,
what do you got for us?
So this week is still about football. I don't know what my deal is with football, but I personally think that kickers should be penalized if they miss a kick. Because here's the thing. They only have one job. You have one job. It's literally in your job title, kicker. Kick the ball and make a field goal. That's all you have to do. And so I feel like they should get penalized if they miss a big kick.
I don't know if you can penalize them, but you can definitely throw some incentives out there on their contract to where if you make X amount of kicks on the season or have a certain kick percentage on the season, you could get bonuses. I think it'd have to work in the opposite way. You get bonuses for making
deducted.
Kicks. You can't get deducted. The NFLPA would never allow it.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like maybe that would make the kickers work a little harder. You know?
They're not working hard enough
Maybe they're not working hard enough. Maybe they're kind of like, well, I have my contract already, and if I would get some bonuses for making a certain amount of kicks, we'd have some better kickers.
It'd have to be like minimum amount of attempts with a certain percentage, right? Kyle?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a way that this could actually work.
It's almost, I feel like sales, though. Like maybe like you get a certain amount of commission, like, or bonuses. So you have a base pay, and then if you make, I don't know, X amount of kicks, or maybe there's certain teams that you play against, and let's say, you know, it's a big game, so you get a bigger bonus if you make a really meaningful kick. I mean, I think I'm personally onto something.
Brad in the chat called you a one-hit wonder.
Is that our boss?
Yes,
of course.
Just the worst.
Hey, you're first.
So out on kickers.
I'm out on kickers.
I still think the first one was the best one.
Yeah, first one, best one.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Out on him. Yeah, maybe one day you'll climb the mountain again.
Yeah, maybe one day you will too. So.
Good one.
989-837-6125. Take a quick timeout. We'll be right back here. Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland. Well, we got some college basketball news yesterday, and it's not good for Spartans fans. Incoming transfer wing Caleb Glenn from Florida Atlantic University suffered a torn patellar injury that's going to put him out for the entire 2025-2026 season. This is a really tough blow for Tom Izzo and his Spartans, as they already are losing their top two scorers from last season in Jaden Akins and Jace Richardson, who is set to be picked likely in the first round of next week's NBA draft. Now, Glenn wasn't going to come in and be the top scorer for the Spartans team, more of a 3-and-D wing, play some defense, knock down shots, get out in transition. But still, he was part of a hole at the wing spot that Michigan State really doesn't have a guy to replace right now. And it all comes down to what type of leap can Cohen Carr take next year for Michigan State. The reigning Big Ten regular season champs now are relying heavy on their big three, likely of Jeremy Fears, Cohen Carr, and Jackson Kohler. This is a Michigan State team right now that lacks a superstar, that lacks a number one option. And last year they didn't have a superstar, but they still had their go-to guys. Is Cohen Carr going to be that guy in 2025? We'll see if the junior takes a big-time leap as the number one option for Michigan State this year. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know, according to a recent study conducted by the AOA, the Optical Laboratories Association, and the Vision Council, nearly half of all glasses ordered online had either prescription errors or failed to meet minimum safety standards. Midland Eye Care offers a full-service optical department meeting all your eye care needs. So call your local Midland Eye Care and avoid incorrect prescriptions costing you time and money. Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and on East Washington and Freeland.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Car to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh. Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at premiertilestone.com.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
When the summer heat is on, keep your cool with Answer Heating and Cooling. Our expert team specializes in fast, reliable air conditioning repairs, installations, and maintenance. Stay comfortable all season long with top-notch cooling solutions and simply outstanding service. Plus, with financing options and special rebates, cooling your home has never been more affordable. Answer Heating and Cooling, where comfort is our priority. Try our new schedule online option or call us today.
Calling all royalty. Join the Great Lakes Loons for Princess Night, presented by High Country Jumpers. Saturday, June 21st. The Loons will take the field in magical Moana-inspired jerseys. Stick around after the game for a dazzling fireworks loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. It's a night fit for the whole family. Tickets are selling fast. Visit loons.com before they're gone. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
on track here. There we go. I was about to say, I couldn't hear myself. All right. Trying to get back on track here. What happens if Oklahoma City wins the finals tonight? Because I kind of feel like that's going to happen here. Tyrese Halliburton dealing with a leg injury. Still don't really have word on the severity of it, whether or not he's playing tonight. I think either way, you're either getting a hobbled Tyrese Halliburton, who's not 100%, or you're not getting Tyrese Halliburton. Either way, it doesn't seem like Indiana is going to have enough to get Oklahoma City tonight, who's probably feeling more confident in themselves than they have at any point so far in the series after the Game 5 win, and now have a chance to close it out in Indiana. I think Oklahoma City wins the NBA championship tonight. So what happens if they do, Kyle? If Oklahoma City wins the finals, ... What is the first thing that you think of?
The first thing I think of is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just capped off a MVP, finals MVP, scoring title season, all in one. As a, 26-year-old?
Yeah. Pretty historic stuff.
There's not many guys that have done even the first two things in the same year, the MVP, championship, finals MVP.
Do you know the last scoring champ to win the finals?
Kevin Durant? No, he didn't win it.
Nope. Shaq.
LeBron didn't win it. The 1 year he won a scoring title. Shaq?
Shaq's the last guy to win the scoring title and then the finals.
That's crazy.
And Shai's got a chance to do that and win the finals MVP, and Shaq did as well, and win the regular season MVP. So it's like this is pretty elite company that he's.
This is an historic season.
He's joining. People are going to struggle with this because it's small market. It's a non-American player from Canada, but I think SGA suddenly gets himself into some pretty all-time conversations, even though it's just one ring. And to do it at 26 years old, it just doesn't happen very often that a player wins a ring this early, and then look at the future of this Oklahoma City team. And it doesn't feel like they're going anywhere anytime soon. My big Oklahoma City wins the finals tonight, ... would be if Oklahoma City wins the finals tonight, everyone starts hoarding their draft picks again. No one's going to want to go all in on a trade the way that the Clippers did by trying to get Paul George, right? What do they give up? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a boatload of picks. Part of the reason the Thunder are in the position that they are, with the biggest war chest of draft picks and the MVP of the league. No one's going to want to give up on players. I mean, even look what's happening on the other side of things. Tyrese Halliburton, where was he drafted? Sacramento. Sacramento trades away Tyrese Halliburton for Sabonis, and then Tyrese Halliburton ends up bringing a team to the finals. I think teams are going to be way less likely to trade away a boatload of picks, like whoever makes this it's part of the reason I don't think the Giannis deal is happening. And I know we just kind of saw Desmond Bane get moved for 5 first-round picks, but that's just all right, if Desmond Bane's worth 5 firsts, I can't even compute what a Giannis trade would be at this point. I think teams are going to be way less likely to do that. And I think teams are going to be way less likely to give up on their first-round picks as early as the Thunder, as the Clippers did with Shai, and as the Kings did with Halliburton. You shouldn't want to give up on your picks that early.
Right.
It's part, not all, but part of the reason I don't want to trade Jaden Ivey this offseason.
I mean, look at even the last 2 teams that have won the finals. It is the same exact formula, just done a little bit differently. The Celtics and Thunder. Homegrown, but they were homegrown because they blew it up and acquired picks for their superstars instead of trading away all the picks to get superstars. Right? The Celtics got Tatum and Brown via blowing it up with Paul Pierce and KG all those years ago with those picks. And then they make the moves at the end to get the Porzingis and Derek White, the trades. But their stars were via picks. The Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, obviously because of the huge Paul George trade, and the rest of their good players, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, draft picks. And then they add the finishing pieces in Alex Caruso, Isaiah Hartenstein. There's a clear formula right now. The teams that go make the humongous moves, trade 5-6 first-round picks to get Giannis or whatever, it just doesn't work right now. And until someone proves it wrong, I don't see a lot of teams doing it, to your point.
And I also feel like after this finals run from both the Pacers and the Thunder, it's like, okay, if Oklahoma City wins the finals tonight, ... teams are going to be way more aggressive early on in the process of building something. these are two of the younger teams in the NBA. And granted, both teams still have their veterans, like TJ McConnell, Pascal Siakam. Almost just Josh Pascal. I'm in football mode. And with Oklahoma City, Hartenstein and Caruso, like they have their established guys. Caruso obviously won a ring a few years back with the Lakers and LeBron. So, like, there are veterans on this team, but the pace of play and the physicality and the stamina that these guys have to play with, I just struggle to see how, like, a Lakers team with LeBron and I love LeBron and Luka. Those are two of my favorite players, but I don't know how they would have stayed on the court with either of these teams with how fast they're playing.
Right.
And how much they're just not running out of energy. Like, both
and
teams
the physicality, like you said. I think that's the really important part.
Well, I wouldn't be worried about like the physicality of LeBron and Luka, but I'd be worried about their stamina at the end of a fourth quarter, game 4, when that physicality has been notched up a level for 4 straight rounds. And I guess I don't know why I'm bringing the Lakers into this, but it's just like an example of, I don't know if the experience matters as much as it used to where it's like you got to go through the battles, you got to go through some of the stuff.
Experience matters.
That's right. Experience does matter. You don't have to like have your wounds and learning experiences as much. Now, the Pacers made the conference finals last year, and the Thunder had their fair share of stuff that they had to figure out throughout the playoffs. But like, I'm starting to think like, is it really that crazy for the Pistons to go on a little run here? Like, is it really that crazy to say the Pistons 2 years from now could be playing in an NBA Finals? I don't think so. I think teams are going to convince themselves based on what happened with Oklahoma City and what happened with the Pacers that they can get to a championship a lot sooner, especially in the Eastern Conference, than they realize. But there's a balance between that and the first point we made of going all in on a big trade in the offseason when you don't actually know if you're that close.
Yeah, and also both of these teams benefit from having good players still on their rookie deals.
Yes.
So it allows you to make moves to get vets on contracts that eventually you're not going to be able to have. The Thunder can't have Caruso and Hartenstein in 2 years.
No, they're going to have to trade
but
some guys.
They can do it now.
They're going to have to trade some guys
Holmgren
this
and Jalen
offseason.
Williams are on the rookie deals.
They're going to have to trade some guys this offseason, though. And Jalen Williams making a third-team All-NBA, and he's not going to win Finals MVP, but like, dang, he just scored 40 in the Finals. Like, all of a sudden,
major bag coming his way.
He's going to be a max player.
Yes.
Now, what happens when they got to pay Chet a max? Chet hasn't qualified for a max yet, but
he will.
You think? I don't know. What would you say? Minus 110 odds, even odds that he ends up making an All-NBA team next season? Or in the next 2 years?
Potentially. He's going to make an all-defensive team for sure, which that adds to it, but obviously not quite to the level as All-NBA.
But
a very good chance.
But look around the league. Like, what bigs are truly better?
Well, the bigs doesn't matter anymore. Positionless All-NBA teams.
Right, but there's always going to be a big on the first team. Like,
Well, yeah.
I struggle to believe that there's going to be like...
He won't be first team.
No.
But I get
no.
what you're saying.
But like, just thinking of bigs around the league, Giannis, Jokic, you'd rather have. Wemby. Chet's probably right there. So it's like, this guy's going to get a max contract. I don't think Oklahoma City is going to be able to keep all 3 of those guys together if they still want competent players around them. But then again, they keep drafting so well. That
they have so many picks, so they have the flexibility to figure it out. Yeah. Can I ask you this?
Sure.
Post-merger, 6 guys have done the MVP, Finals MVP champion, same season.
Giannis, Michael Jordan.
No, Giannis did not do it.
Oh, no, he was Depoy MVP.
Yes.
Wait, say it again? Scoring?
MVP and Finals was different year for Giannis. To win the MVP and the championship Finals MVP, same season.
MVP and Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan's done it 4 times.
Is that 4 of the 6?
No, that's just 1.
Oh.
6 different guys.
Since dating how far back?
Since 1976. There's 8 total, but
Bird.
Kareem and Willis Reed pre-merger. No Bird. Like these are.
Bird didn't win it in '86. That was Magic.
No.
Magic
is one of them.
Yeah, Magic.
Yeah.
Jordan. Hakeem,
yes.
Shaq.
94. No Shaq. So the lone MVP season, he did not win the championship.
Duncan.
Tim Duncan, yes, 2003. I'll give you Moses Malone, 1983.
I
probably
did
the
not.
toughest
I
guess.
did not want you to give me that. I feel like I would have gotten that if you would have given me a year.
One more, most recent one to do it.
No, Steph didn't win the Finals MVP. Who is it?
LeBron?
Oh, yeah.
2012, 2013, did it back-to-back years.
Yeah, duh.
So no one's done it in 12 seasons. And those names, LeBron, Jordan, Tim Duncan, Hakeem, Those are all top 10 Magic Johnson players ever. Moses Malone, top 20 player ever, top 25.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Shea is putting himself in some elite status early.
Yeah. I'm excited to see this career player. Even though, like, is it my favorite style of basketball to watch? No, but there is an art to him getting these fouls and still getting the shot off. It's wild stuff. It really is. Every person who's a fan of basketball has enjoyed these finals. I don't really care what the ratings end up to be. This has been a lights-out NBA finals, and it probably comes to an end tonight with the Tyrese Haliburton injury. Then again, we said that and counted out the Pacers, and that's kind of what has happened the entire course of the playoffs. They've been counted out, and they have continued to find a way to win. So we'll see tonight. I'm pumped up. 989-837-6125. We haven't talked Lions today. Let's mix that in. Does any team have a better set of weapons?
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Logan Snyder from Bullet Creek High School. With a 3.94 GPA, Logan's a member of the varsity golf team, revitalizing a program that was dormant when he was a freshman 4 years ago. Logan great at golf and in the classroom, and also volunteers, including at the Midland Miracle Field.
I love working with those kids, and it's always so much fun to see like them getting to play the game we all get to love to play. Just getting to see like them going up to bat, hitting the ball, no matter how far it goes, and they're just super excited. It just warms my heart every time.
Logan will be attending Ferris State in the fall and plans to study in their PGA Golf Management program. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Hey sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan, featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
Step right up to Lucky Hot Dog Night with the Great Lakes Loons, Thursday, June 19th. Feeling lucky? Golden tickets will be hidden in the wrappers of our hot dogs throughout the game. It's Thirsty Thursday, presented by J.P. O'Sullivan Distributing, with half-off beer all night. And we'll have a post-game fireworks loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Michigan needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
From the Blasey Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Ben Bosscher Show, hour number 3. We're cruising, we're rolling here on a Thursday in the great state of Michigan. You know what I was wondering, Kyle? I was wondering to myself last night when there was nothing going on. No NBA Finals, NHL Finals are over, Tigers got into postponement. I was like, postpone the game. I was just at a loss to what to do. And one thought crossed my mind. It's like, do the Lions have the best set of weapons in the NFL? Because we had mentioned after Frank Ragnow retired, our big reaction was, I think the weapons are now the strength of this team. You actually think it's the secondary, which I don't necessarily disagree with you. That's pretty dependent on what happens with Terrion Arnold this season. But I said the bread and butter of this team is no longer the offensive line. You just lost an all-pro guy. You lost your second best offensive lineman. I don't think that's now the staple of this team. I think it's the pass-catching weapons and really the weapons in general with Gibbs, Montgomery, Laporta, who I think is one of the most underrated tight ends in the league. You see what Kittle said about Laporta on the Barstool podcast? Didn't love that. He's like, they congratulated him on the contract. He was like, thanks. Hopefully Laporta gets more money than that pretty soon. And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know if we can do that. But between Laporta, Gibbs, Montgomery, Amon-Ra, J-Mo, I struggle to think that that's not the strength of the team anymore. That's not what the offense is built on. I mean, your fifth best playmaker is David Montgomery. Your fourth best playmaker is J-Mo or Laporta. Like, there's some teams that'd be lucky to have, like, one of those guys could step right in and take on a wide receiver one role. A lot of teams would have J-Mo as their wide receiver one with the level that he was playing at last year. So I struggle to see any team in the NFL that has the weapons that the Lions do. I not only do I think it's the strength of the team, I think it's the number one weapons group in the NFL.
For this reason, this is why people should be less worried about Ben Johnson exiting and Johnny Morton entering.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, it can't be that hard to figure it out with the amount of weapons that the Lions have, how good these guys are. So for me, I agree that is the best position group on the Lions right now, if we're counting just skill positions as one. I just think that by the end of the season, the secondary has the potential to take that spot if they stay healthy, which has been hard. But yeah, it's hard to look around the rest of the league. Like the Buccaneers are in that conversation. There's a few other teams that are in that conversation. But I think the Lions are first. I agree with you.
The Bengals come to mind because they definitely have the best tandem. They have the best duo in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But they don't have the tight end. They don't have the running back. Or the second running back for that matter.
No.
So I'd put the Lions ahead of them. Maybe the other team that comes to mind is like the Cowboys with CeeDee Lamb, who's probably
who's their running back?
Exactly. CeeDee Lamb's probably the best. I don't even know if I can put him above Amon-Ra St. Brown just based on the production.
But even if you do,
the Vikings come to mind with Addison and JJ.
Theirs is pretty good.
Justin Jefferson, not JJ McCarthy, and Hawkinson is kind of the add-on there.
A decent duo backfield of Jones and Jordan Mason now. Like, it's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not Gibbs and Montgomery.
Not even close.
The Buccaneers get a lot of smoke with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and now the rookie in there as well. But like
Jalen McMillian, Egbuka.
Yeah, but
and their running back duo is,
do.
I mean, Bucky Irving and Rashad White. That's a pretty good duo.
Atlanta fans might still be delusional that they have this elite group of weapons.
Atlanta?
Yeah. I said they might be a little delusional that they might consider themselves in that group because I heard that this is the year that Kyle Pitts turns things around.
Feel free.
It's not San Fran anymore now that even if Debo was there, just not the same guy.
Ayuk's also not there.
Oh, yeah. Rams, a little bit of love here, but like as I go through it, it's like no one even comes close to the Lions when you got to take in running backs, tight ends, and receivers into consideration. Because the Rams, they do have this awesome tandem in Devontae Adams and the Puka Nacua. But Tyler Higbee's still their tight end.
Like, they drafted that Ferguson guy in the second or third round.
Kyron Williams is great, but like
he's very good.
He's not David Montgomery. The real only other team that I think is competitive
is RB2.
The only team that I think actually might be able to go toe to toe with the Lions, and I still don't really think they do, is Philly, the defending Super Bowl champions, because they've got the one superstar and the awesome wide receiver 2 in Devontae Smith, but I'd probably rather have Amon-Ra than AJ Brown. I don't think that's a clean sweep, but if we're doing a best of 7 series, I'd go Amon-Ra in 7.
Fair. Different type of receiver, so it's really hard to compare them.
I'd take
Devontae Smith over J-Mo.
You would? I was going to say J-Mo in 6.
Really?
If J-Mo didn't have Amon-Ra, I think J-Mo's numbers are way better. You could say the same thing about Smith.
I was about to say, you could say the same exact thing about Smith.
Tight end obviously goes to the... Yeah. Would you rather have the tandem of Gibbs and Montgomery or Saquon? I think I'd rather have the tandem.
But it's like, imagine Gibbs fully unleashed without Montgomery. That obviously makes him better.
Gibbs?
Yeah.
Yeah, but but that goes back to the point. I'd rather have the tandem. Like, I'd rather have 75% Gibbs, 25% Montgomery than 100% Saquon Barkley.
Oh, that's hard.
This is like real.
Saquon just sent him to the Super Bowl, man.
I know. But you're saying Gibbs couldn't have done that if he was in the Saquon role for Philly? I think he could have. I think they're way more similar than people realize.
Point.
I think they're way closer than people realize. One just, they give him the ball way more, and he doesn't have a second option.
I do think that this year, with a different offensive coordinator, assuming things won't be run the exact same way, Gibbs is going to be launched into that best running back in the NFL talk this season.
He already is.
He's not with Saquon and Henry. I'm saying this year he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess I kind of already view him in that camp. And I think there's probably a lot of people that out there that do, but yeah, the pure numbers. I think this is, you're right. This is the year he jumps into that. Even though Montgomery's still going to have probably 10 plus touchdowns this season.
Oh, for sure.
And Gibbs had 16 last year. He was he had tied for the most in the league. Rushing touchdowns. He had the most scrimmage touchdowns in the league by the end of the regular season. And that was with splitting with Montgomery for 85% of the season. That's my argument for Gibbs being in that camp. God, I can't even imagine what his numbers would have been if Montgomery wasn't around. I don't think there's any other team that even really comes close, though. Cincy and Philly are probably the two most likely options. But in terms of just the weapons, the pass catchers, the skill position players, it's the Lions. And I think that is now the bread and butter of this team. That is now what this team is built on. It's not the offensive line, unfortunately. In the chat, when you have weapons like Detroit, of course the numbers won't compare to others. Too many mouths to feed. That's from Michael.
Yeah, I mean, look at Laporta last year. Blew up as a rookie, and then last year there's just too much going on in this offense for him to sustain those type of numbers.
Everyone said Laporta had a sophomore slump season. I don't think that's true. I think
no, he just didn't get the ball as much.
And when he did, he was super effective.
Yeah.
Like every time Jared Goff threw the ball to Laporta, I was like, awesome. This is going to work out. And usually it did. But again, like J-Mo taking a huge step up, not everyone can be full. But the best part about this team is you don't see anyone complaining about not getting the ball. Right? There's no diva receivers. Even the guy that, is portrayed as sometimes not a good guy in J-Mo, I don't think that's true at all. I think that's a completely false narrative. J-Mo blocks. J-Mo blocks his butt off down the field. He's a huge reason that some of the Gibbs runs went the distance.
Yeah, he's right there side by side with them.
Yeah. Who do you think wins in a race between those two?
Gibbs.
Really?
I'd love to see it, man.
Would you pay money? Because I would.
Of course
I would pay money to see that. I don't
care about the Noah Lyles Tyreek Hill race.
I'd probably give.
I want to see Gibbs v. J-Mo.
I'd probably give, realistically, no more than $50. I'd probably give $50 to see them do a 100-yard dash.
Gibbs' acceleration seems better, faster. Like his really quickly just get up and go out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
J-Mo's obviously is still elite as well. But J-Mo's just down the field speed.
Once he hits open field, it's over.
Like what type of race are we having? A 100 or a 40?
100-meter dash.
I think I go J-Mo in the 100.
I think I'd go J-Mo in the 100, Gibbs in the 40.
Yeah.
Nice. 989-837-6125. Hey, Bright Smiles. They make anyone's day. And Bright Smiles start at Scott Family Dental, where comfort, care, and clean teeth are the standard. Locally owned by Daniel Scott, a native of the Great Lakes Bay region, the business is family-focused. They treat patients of all ages like kids of their own. From routine checkups to whitenings, crowns, and more, they've got the tools and the gentle touch to keep your smile shining. Friendly staff, modern tech, and zero judgment, even if it's been a while since your last visit. So go ahead, show those pearly lights off. Scott Family Dental has your back and your teeth. Kyle, fun fact about me? You probably don't know. Maybe you do. You know that my front tooth is fake?
Really?
Yeah.
Get knocked out as a kid?
Funny story. So bouncing on a trampoline, right? No netting around, no padding around the little springs.
How old?
Middle school, 6th grade.
Yeah.
I don't know how old are you in 6th
11
grade?
or 12?
Yeah. And I had socks on, and my feet slipped out from in front of me, and my face went
oh my!
right into the metal bar,
dude.
And my tooth just chipped like directly in half. And I started. I get like chills.
That gives me the
thinking about
heebie-jeebies
it.
just thinking about it.
It was to even breathe hurt my tooth because it was so sensitive. Because the middle of the tooth was just cracked right, and I had to go to. My parents made me go to school the next day.
What?
So I had to go around, and I don't think I opened my mouth once. My teachers probably thought I was mute, and then I got it fixed the next day, like a temporary crown. Then that would fall off in the middle of the night once in a while. And one time I lost it. I was just like, I'm pretty sure I swallowed my tooth.
So you basically got veneers, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And then they fixed it for good. That was childhood trauma, 989-837-6125. Stay tuned right here. Ben Bosscher Show, hour number 3.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
Due to inclement weather, the Loons did not play last night. The series will go on as scheduled, meaning back to action tonight at 7:05 p.m. Hockey Hot Dog Night, a fireworks Loontacular presented by Farm Bureau Insurance, and of course a Thirsty Thursday brought to you by J.P. O'Sullivan. On Tuesday, the series got kicked off with a Great Lakes win. Carlos Rojas played hero with a 2-run single in the 8th.
The 1-1. Rojas swings, chopper up the middle. That will sneak through. Nevin scores. Vetrano hits third. Honeyman will scoop, but no throw to make. Right up the gut. And Rojas puts 2 on the board. Great Lakes takes the lead. Here in the 8th, it's 8-7.
Tonight also, the Loons will transform into the Malmo Oat Milkers. Our pregame coverage starts at 6:50. First pitch at 7:05 here on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Mary Draves, former Dow executive and leader in the Midland community.
I think as we get a little bit older, we start to care less about what other people think. If you
That's
really
a great
want
point, yeah.
And so as I've gotten older, I think I've become way more comfortable in who I am and what I stand for. And, when you get to that point, all of a sudden, you become less apologetic about who you are. You also, you're like, hey, this is me, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
And I think in my 20s versus maybe I'm in my 50s now, it's a very different person. And that's just really part of the continuum of growth.
Listen to the full interview with Mary on 100.9 The Mitt's YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
There are many ways to say Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. You could say it with your show choir buddies at your high school reunion.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Only 1 more calorie. Miller Lite has more taste.
However you say it, it's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer for 12 full ounces. Miller Lite, 96 calories, 3.2 carbs. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 carbs. Taste test performed by Institute for Perception, February 2018.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we didn't get to do it earlier because we did a little bit of a news quiz instead. God, I feel like I was back in college, dude. We used to have a professor who every single day would make us take a news quiz and be like, you have to know what's going on in the world.
What class?
It was like one of the journalism classes over at CMU. She taught multiple different classes, but we would always take a news quiz at the beginning. And it was so funny because every single person would just pull their phone out and hide it between, like, underneath the table and just look up the answer to everything. Everyone. It was so funny. Anyway,
interesting.
Let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right. like you said, we didn't get into everything earlier, so let's get into it right now. NBA Finals, Game 6. Tonight, 8:30, OKC. 6.5-point favorites on the road.
Yeah, I like OKC
what are you
tonight.
Thinking? Closed out tonight?
Yeah. In dramatic fashion. Not in lack of dramatic fashion, I guess I should say. In dominant fashion. I think
Really?
Oklahoma City closes things out. Yeah, I mean, when the other team's best player gets hurt, it's like, that kind of just is it. Right? Like, once you get to a finals and your best player's hurt, not a lot of teams all time that are coming back from that. Especially
Agreed,
down.
But backs against the wall at home. Who knows? Who knows what the Pacers role players got in them? Role players play better at home.
Little TJ McConnell masterclass game once again.
There's potential. They might have already gotten that, though, in Game 5.
Pascal Siakam 40 bomb.
That I don't think is likely.
Probably not.
All right, more NBA news. The Lakers are being sold. The Buss family is selling the Lakers to Mark Walter, current owner, part-time owner, or one of the owners of the Los Angeles Dodgers. $10 billion.
That's a lot of... A, that's a lot of dough. B, that's a lot of power to have in the city of Los Angeles. You own the two most popular teams in the state.
Ooh, Warriors? Dodgers more popular than
I would say the
Warriors?
Dodgers are worth more than the Warriors, right?
Probably, yeah. I don't know, though.
Every time I used to see this like projection of NBA franchise owners, or like the owner, the value of the franchise, Golden State would always be one. I don't think if Golden State sold tomorrow, it'd be for over $10 billion.
I really don't know either. I don't have that type of bread, you know?
Did you see Magic Johnson's tweet after the Lakers got sold yesterday?
What was it like? Congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers for being bought and sold by Los Angeles.
No. He was like,
He's part of the Dodgers ownership, I believe, right?
He is, and the Commanders. He was like, as soon as I saw the Celtics got sold for $6 billion, I knew the Lakers would go for more. It's like,
that's good.
What?
It's good for Magic. Just a dig at the Celtics for no reason.
For no
reason. All right, we couldn't go at least 2 weeks without some Shedeur Sanders news. He got pulled over, and he's going to be fined for driving 101 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone.
Man, it's a good thing that this didn't happen before the draft.
Right. Could have really affected his stock.
It could have really plummeted him in the draft. Could have really affected this kid's draft stock.
I saw a tweet that said Mel Kiper knew Shedeur Sanders was going 101 at some point. Get it? Like 101
yeah, no, I get
overall. You get it? Yeah.
Have you ever hit 100 on a non-freeway situation?
I don't mean this is a crazy thing to talk about.
It's kind of
I'm not a fast
self-incriminating.
driver. Yeah. So no.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, never. We got college baseball World Series going on. I don't know if you saw this game last night, or at least how it went down. LSU beat Arkansas to advance to the final. A line drive out to left field went off of the head of the Arkansas left fielder because he tripped and fell as he went to go catch it. And it scored like 3 runs to tie the game. Like it would have won the game for Arkansas.
Oh, that kid's never gonna live that down. That
off
sucks.
his dome.
He's probably concussed and is the reason they lost the game. Tough day to be that guy. Oh, by the way, remember when you yesterday were like, or maybe a few days ago when you were like, who's in the College World Series? And I was like, I have no idea. You were like, you don't remember what? And you were like, do you ever watch College World Series? And I was like, no. And you were like, not even when LSU was playing, who'd they play?
Florida?
Yeah, Florida and all these guys like Skenes and...
Skeen, Dylan Cruz.
You know who else was playing in that game?
Wyatt Langford.
Jordan Thompson. Plays right here a little bit later on.
Right.
Great Lakes Loons.
Shout out to Jordan Thompson. Lucky hot dog night.
Dude.
Or the Oat Milkers, we should say, not the Loons.
You keep teasing this costume that you're wearing to the ballpark tonight. I can't
Never
wait
said
to
it was
see
a costume.
You implied it was.
I'll be showing out for Lucky Hot Dog Day. Let's just say that. All right, NFL news. Jair Alexander signs with, of course, the Ravens.
Oh, God.
The Ravens get all these dudes, man.
Dude.
What was the worst secondary in football last year, at least passing defense-wise, now has added Malachi Starks and Jair Alexander this offseason.
And has Kyle Hamilton.
And Marlon Humphrey.
Horrifying. That's the scariest secondary in the NFL when healthy, which Jair has struggled
Are they
to
the
stay
best
healthy.
team in the AFC?
They might just be. And like playoff game, am I picking them over Mahomes? No.
Right, but I'm just talking on paper right now.
Yeah,
they're the best team.
I think they are.
I would think so too.
That addition of Jair is huge.
It's a very huge.
Like the show.
It's scary stuff. Yes, the huge show. All right, we have some sad news that made me very sad. And a lot of other Michigan State Spartan fans. Caleb Glenn, incoming transfer from FAU, a junior, yet to suit up, obviously, for the Spartans. Well, he won't this season. Suffered a non-contact torn patellar injury the other day in a shoot-around practice, whatever. Out for the entirety of the 2025-2026 season. Probably their biggest impact transfer, on paper at least.
Definitely their biggest impact transfer. He's a 6'7" guy who can stretch the floor, brought some athleticism.
Yeah, 3-and-D, can throw it down.
You are really banking on Cohen Carr to take a leap forward this year. Like,
which
dramatically.
It sounds like he's going to.
What, you see the video of him
How
taking
big
jump
of a
shots? Oh, look, he hit some threes in an open gym.
You've been hearing it a lot from the coaches. Cohen Carr himself said you're going to see a different Cohen Carr this year. I mean, he could be their star player. That or we need Jackson Kohler to be Drew Timme. So.
Jackson Kohler.
I like Kohler.
I like Kohler too.
It just sucks, man. I mean, Glenn wasn't going to be their best player by any means. I don't necessarily know if he was even going to start. Maybe he was six-man vibes.
Is Cooper still the center?
He was Cooper's still the center. Yes, I know.
Pathetic.
It is pathetic. Tigers doubleheader today. 110, 5:40 start. Give me your take. Doubleheaders, in or out?
I like doubleheaders. I wouldn't mind if in Major League Baseball there were 7 innings.
It's not bad. Not a bad take.
I just cannot believe
they would never do that.
We're not doing what we're destined to do.
No.
In getting Paul Skenes versus Tarek Skubal. It's ridiculous, man. Give the baseball fans what they want. Give them
game
what
1,
they want.
Skenes game 2. Gives you a reason to go to both games, so I'll give you that.
Is there a matchup you'd rather see than that? There's
Pitching
only
matchup
one.
Wise?
Yeah, there's only one I can.
No,
think.
that's for sure it.
I would say Ohtani. He's the
yeah.
only other person that would rival
also, like,
Skenes versus Skubal.
It'd be pretty cool to see Kershaw versus Skubal too.
Yeah, he's been kind of dealing, man. He's been kind of dealing lately.
Yeah, Ohtani's good, but I don't know. I want to see Skenes, man.
Yeah,
especially while he's still young and everything.
I do too.
All right, last up, the Travelers Championship in the PGA Tour starts today in Connecticut. Scotty Scheffler, your favorite, followed by Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa. See if any of those guys can bounce back after the terrible weekend nearly all of them had at Oakmont this weekend.
This is going to sound like a really stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay, let's hear it.
What makes the 4 majors so much more special than the other events that happen on tour? Like, why did they decide that those 4 things are more
I don't know
important
what
than
went into
everything
the
else?
decision, I guess. Because there's PGA Tour events that happen prior to the Masters. It's just the first major of the year. I guess I don't necessarily know what makes them, like, why they've done it that way. What I will say is what separates them now with the live stuff going on is the live guys can only play in the majors. They can't play on the tour.
Who's the best live guy right now?
Bryson, probably.
Oh, Bryson's
John
still a
Rahm.
live guy? Did they change? Relax. Did they change that rule? Like, because formerly the live guys couldn't compete in that, right?
No, they could always compete in the majors because, like, there's some technicality that the majors are not actual PGA Tour events because they're the majors, even though one of them is literally called the PGA Championship.
I'm just working into the golf world, guys. Forgive me.
Right.
I've just entered. I've opened the door. I've taken a few steps in, and that's about it. I've looked around, and I like what I've seen so far. But
that's why I threw that in the news. You know.
Thank you.
Just a little update on what's going on this weekend.
I appreciate that. You said Scheffler's the favorite. Is he just the favorite for everything?
Yeah, if he's competing, he's the favorite. Yes, plus 300 right now. So.
All right. That's going to do it for the news. Coming up next, we've been mentioning this throughout the course of the show. You didn't have to work last night for like the first time ever, and there was no Tigers. So we'll get to that, and I've got some unbreakable sports records for you here on the Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Logan Snyder from Bullet Creek High School. With a 3.94 GPA, Logan's a member of the varsity golf team, revitalizing a program that was dormant when he was a freshman 4 years ago. Logan great at golf and in the classroom, and also volunteers, including at the Midland Miracle Fields.
I love working with those kids, and it's always so much fun to see them getting to play the game we all get to love to play. Just getting to see them going up to bat, hitting the ball, no matter how far it goes, and they're just super excited. It just warms my heart every time.
Logan will be attending Ferris State in the fall and plans to study in their PGA Golf Management program. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themid.com.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
At Aird & Garcia Insurance Group, they understand not everyone's insurance needs are the same. That's why they're dedicated to working with our clients to provide an insurance plan that's specific to you.
Whether you need life, home, auto, business, and farm, with their team's extensive knowledge and over 100 years combined experience, you can guarantee they work hard to put you in the best insurance position.
The experience matters. Aird & Garcia Insurance Group, Farm Bureau Insurance.
Calling all royalty. Join the Great Lakes Loons for Princess Night, presented by High Country Jumpers. Saturday, June 21st. The Loons will take the field in magical Moana-inspired jerseys. Stick around after the game for a dazzling fireworks loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. It's a night fit for the whole family. Tickets are selling fast. Visit loons.com before they're gone. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got it. On Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we got a doubleheader today for the Tigers. Tarek Skubal game 1, Paul Skenes game 2, because yesterday's game got rained out. It's we could be gifted something today. We could have something special today. We could have the two best pitchers in the world going toe-to-toe in an old-school pitching battle. But instead, they're pitching on the same day in the same ballpark, but not in the same game in Skenes and Tarek Skubal. It makes me upset, Kyle. It really does, especially considering all of last night, I was basically just talking myself into, oh, this is going to happen, right? They're going to treat the baseball world and give the Tigers fans and the people of Detroit what they want, right? And so far, the answer seems like, no, they will not be doing that. In fact, we can basically write it in. 98.8% chance this is not happening.
It's all right. I already got to see the best righty versus lefty in the league a couple years ago. Scherzer versus Eduardo Rodriguez. So that was good enough for me. Jokes.
Well, I didn't get to see that, so I'd like to see. I'd like to see Tarek Skubal versus Paul Skenes, but you can't all get what we asked for. I was so grateful for the rain yesterday, I'd say, because we're here late at night. You're here later than I am, recently, and then we're here pretty early in the morning. And when I found out the Loons game was getting canceled, I was asleep within like 5 seconds. I swear. And then I woke up from a nap, and I still went to bed at like 9:45 last night. For the first time in so long, I got 8 hours.
I know, that's why
of
sometimes
sleep.
I avoid the naps, because it makes me fall asleep later than I want to at night.
I think I got a full 8 hours of sleep last night for the first time in months. And it feels good. I feel like we had a good show so far today. The good night's
energy's
sleep
up
definitely
today.
helped. But I ended up watching a movie last night, and I went to the old Twitter and asked the people what I should watch. And the people came through, gave me a ton of recommendations, and I ended up ignoring every single one of them.
I was about to say, you got some really good recommendations that I was looking through. I felt I missed the tweet. I was an hour late to it, so that's why I texted you, because I was like, I got to know what he's watching.
About 8 different recommendations. I ignored all of them, unfortunately. And I ended up watching 28 Days Later with Cillian Murphy. I didn't even realize he was in the original ones. I just thought he was executive producing some of these ones. To see him in a movie that had an $8 million budget was hilarious and awesome. Because if I had to guess that $8 million budget, and I looked it up fairly quickly in a movie because I was like, this is horribly made. Like, this is a disaster. It looks like it's shot on an iPod Touch, but worse. And I was like, there's no way this, like, what is the budget of this movie? I looked it up, $8 million. Ended up grossing $84 million. So, and I think the biggest reason because of it was because of him. Like, for how low budget that was, and of the $8 million, I'd say like $6 million were spent on fire explosions and blood. And the rest was everything else. He killed it, dude. Knocked it out of the park. I didn't even recognize him for the first, 20 minutes in the movie, and then he shaves his head. I'm like, oh wait, that's Cillian Murphy. Oh wait, he's directing the new one that's coming out. I thought it was really good. I didn't like it at the beginning. I was like, this is kind of weird, and then it got really good in the middle, and then it got really weird at the end. But it got me super excited for the one that's coming out in a couple of days, which have nothing to do with each other, because I also found out last night
because it's 28 years later, right?
But Cillian Murphy, this is a whole new series because there's supposed to be 3 of these. So there's 28 Days Later. There's 28 Weeks Later, what came out in 07, 08, also with Cillian Murphy. Now they're making this third one, but this is the first one of a trilogy that they're making. And I think it's completely unrelated to the first one. I thought it was like 28 years after this incident happened.
Right.
But I think it's just totally different.
When is that coming out? It's got to be pretty soon, right?
Tonight. It's out tonight. You can go see it tonight.
Really?
And that's the reason I ended up going with 28 Days Later rather than anything else.
Right.
I couldn't believe that. Like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh, I might have gotten myself into something really bad. So, but it always.
There's nothing worse than that. When you get 10, 20 minutes into a movie and you're like, I don't know.
But it ended up turning around. And I think with a higher budget, and maybe I'll sneak in the 28 Weeks Later one before I go see the newest one. With a higher budget, this movie has great potential. In every trailer I see, I'm like, yes, this looks amazing. Because I'm a sucker for the apocalyptic movies if they do them right.
So it was good.
It was like Walking Dead meets Stephen King. That's what I put that in my notes. Walking Dead versus Stephen King. Or meets Stephen King. Because the first scene is totally different. Like, I thought I was watching the wrong movie at first. For about 10 minutes. I was like, I don't know if this is the right movie. And then once Cillian Murphy's character comes in, I was like, well, this is just The Walking Dead. He woke up in a hospital and has no idea what's going on in an apocalyptic world. But then it got weird and dark. So that's like where the Stephen King comes into it. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. You enjoy your off night?
Yeah, I did. I went and played some hoops, so that was nice. And it was just nice to get a little break, the back-to-back homestands. We don't have to worry about it too much.
We were due for a night off.
Right.
Well deserved. I've got a couple sports records for you that I wanted to know which one of you thought was the most unbreakable. Because I think the $10 million or $10 billion that the Lakers sold for, that's a new record. But if the Cowboys sold tomorrow, probably breaks that record.
Yeah, definitely not unbreakable.
You tell me which of these is the most unbreakable, Kyle. Wilt Chamberlain, 100 points. Jerry Rice, 22,895 yards.
Ooh.
Cal Ripken, 2,600 consecutive games played. Wayne Gretzky, 2,800 career points. Steph Curry's 3-point record. Which of those is the most breakable?
Are those all of those?
Sure. Yeah.
The most breakable is Steph Curry 3-point record.
I'd have to agree with you. The pace that everyone shoots them with now.
Because it still hasn't really come close. No one has really come close to breaking it yet.
No.
So you could argue that the 3-point pace may be shrinking because it peaked that season.
But you look at Anthony Edwards, if he continues the pace he shot at this past season, he will be second all time in threes. Like
still
you can say that about
100 threes off.
You can say that about basically anyone in the entire top 10 list of 3-point makes in a season is or career wise for that matter.
Yeah, they're
will
all
be current guys. Like Donovan Mitchell will be on the list. Anthony Edwards will be on the list.
James Harden is now the second all-time 3-point
correct
leader, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, they'll all be
not really
guys.
known as a 3-point shooter. Not like Steph Curry is.
Yeah,
not like Reggie
right.
Miller was,
Yeah. Like Trae Young will
So that's the
be
most
on that
breakable.
List.
Most unbreakable. I'll say all of those are unbreakable. Like I don't think we see any of those get broken. But the most unbreakable, oh man, the Jerry Rice career yards is just, but the Gretzky points is untouchable. No one's ever getting there. I mean, you look at Ovechkin even, like.
Connor McDavid could play for another 10 years at the pace he's playing and still not even come close.
That's what I'm saying.
I think
the Wilt 100 points will never be broken.
I was just going to say, I think that's the second most likely.
Right?
I think that's the second most likely. Someone just hits 23s. Someone just hits 18
I don't think it can happen.
threes.
I also don't know if it did happen.
Oh, get out of here, man. It happened. I hate that.
I'm messing. I just told
didn't. I don't know, man. You just lack of trust with those people. Why would they make that up? There's no incentive to make it up.
Right.
And he averaged 50 points for an entire season. So why on earth could he have not doubled that one game? That'd be my logic to back that up. If he averaged 50 points,
that's decent logic.
He probably scored 100 at least once. Like what? Shea led the league in scoring this year at 33 points a game.
Okay, but the weirdest part is
he scored 60. Would
he
it
never
be that
scored
crazy?
80 a couple times.
I think he
just
did.
like randomly peaked at 100 and then never even got over 75.
I think he did though.
No.
But yeah, I think that's 100% happened. I'd be shocked if it didn't happen.
But anyways, I would go with Gretzky points, I think. I think that's most... The Ripken thing probably won't ever happen. But
Definitely not.
It could, though. No, it can't.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will ever happen again.
Most unbreakable is Gretzky points, though. But they're all unbreakable. None of them will be touched. But for sure, no, is Gretzky.
Yeah. I'd probably have to agree with you there. All right, let's take
it's not getting touched. Joey Chestnut's record, baby. The GOAT of all GOATs.
We had some people in the chat saying that this other guy, Kobayashi was at his prime could have went toe-to-toe with Chestnut. This is kind of like how Mayweather ducked Pacquiao for a while. Like, I don't know, maybe in their prime Pacquiao could have had a shot. Seems like...
Yeah, I'm not that tapped into the hot dog eating game.
Okay. Says the one who's pumped up about Lucky Hot Dog Night tonight.
Yeah.
All right, 989-837-6125. We've got two traditions to close every show. Hit them next. Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandell.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland. Well, we got some college basketball news yesterday, and it's not good for Spartans fans. Incoming transfer wing Caleb Glenn from Florida Atlantic University suffered a torn patellar injury that's going to put him out for the entire 2025-2026 season. This is a really tough blow for Tom Izzo and his Spartans, as they already are losing their top two scorers from last season in Jaden Akins and Jace Richardson, who is set to be picked likely in the first round of next week's NBA draft. Now, Glenn wasn't going to come in and be the top scorer for the Spartans team, more of a 3-and-D wing, play some defense, knock down shots, get out in transition. But still, he was part of a hole at the wing spot that Michigan State really doesn't have a guy to replace right now. And it all comes down to what type of leap can Cohen Carr take next year for Michigan State. The reigning Big Ten regular season champs now are relying heavy on their big three, likely of Jeremy Fears, Cohen Carr, and Jackson Kohler. This is a Michigan State team right now that lacks a superstar, that lacks a number one option. And last year they didn't have a superstar, but they still had their go-to guys. Is Cohen Carr going to be that guy in 2025? We'll see if the junior takes a big-time leap as the number one option for Michigan State this year. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent located downtown Midland.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
Celebrate 4th of July with the Great Lakes Loons. Join us for our block party on Main, presented by the Michigan Army National Guard. Celebrate America's independence with face painting, balloon animals, the inflatable zone on the front lawn, and of course, America's pastime. The evening wraps up with a spectacular fireworks loontacular, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. For tickets, visit loons.com. This isn't just baseball, it's the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of. It's hot! Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think replay should be taken out of basketball entirely. I think 2 super conferences would fix college football. I think the best football, basketball, and baseball players of all time are currently playing. I think the day the Lions win the Super Bowl is going to be the greatest day of my life. I think Monty Williams sabotaged the Pistons on purpose, and you can't convince me otherwise. I think Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of all time, but most definitely cheated, got caught, and ran away. And I think you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, fueled by Forward Energy, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt if you agree with anything I just said.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mine stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show. powered by the Forward Corporation on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, Kyle, we've been complaining for the entire show that we're not getting Skubal versus Skenes today. We've got a doubleheader in Comerica Park. Skenes is pitching in Game 2. Skubal is pitching in Game 1. I said in the last segment, it's like a 98% chance it's not happening. I feel like that's down to like 87% chance. There's a lot of rain happening right now in Detroit to the point where maybe, just maybe, Game 1 gets canceled and they got to make it up some later time, which would mean there's only one game. And maybe, just maybe, it would be Paul Skenes versus Tarek Skubal. I'll say this. If they cancel Game 1 and they only play one game today, and both managers don't get together and just decide, let's give the people what we want, and they intentionally don't give us Skenes versus Skubal, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to freak out.
You might get the opposite. You might see neither, right? Yeah, let's have our star pitcher pitch in the wet, rainy conditions. This is why you're not a manager, as Dwayne would say.
That's correct. I don't know, man. I think Skubal would be down for it for sure. I have a hard time believing Skenes, as accomplished as he is not also a psycho competitor. I have a hard time believing Don Kelly wouldn't be down for this. Give the people of Detroit what he wants. The interim manager for the Pirates, former Tiger. Is AJ Hinch willing to do it? Is the question. Because he would be the person. I love AJ Hinch. Genius. Super genius.
Yeah, he cares more about winning baseball games than giving the fans something they want.
One day. We just need you to be a manager for the people. One day.
Right.
To get this matchup. I think it's like 13.7% chance possible that we get this.
So specific.
So like a 86.3% chance we don't get it. Yeah.
It's not happening, man. It's a 99% chance. Just throw it back up.
You want to? No, I don't want to bet.
Yeah, it's just my odds are just terrible there.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, speaking of bet,
it is time for our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Aaron Judge did not hit a home run last night.
No.
Which means we are back to, over 0.6 units in total?
Yes, you are plus 0.68 units overall. You are down a full unit, though, on the week with the 1-2 record. So, big spot here, because if you miss this, then does that mean Friday, do you have to go balls to the wall, like a plus 200 bet to win the week?
Yeah, because we're not going down with a loss like that. We're not playing it safe, right? We're trying to break even on the week.
So this is big tonight. And let's be clear, I've stated this, risky picks all week from you.
Today I think is a little bit more safe.
I would agree.
It's more normal. It's less atypical of a bet. We're keeping it simple today. We're going Oklahoma City spread, -6.5. I think they close this thing out tonight. Tyrese Halliburton's playing on one leg, if he's playing at all. We've no idea still. If he doesn't end up playing, this is going to be much more than a 6.5 point spread, I would imagine. So hop on it right now. What is it at? -102? Would you end
-106?
That's great value to me. I think even if Tyrese Halliburton plays, you're getting a hobbled version of him in Oklahoma City.
The scary part is this doesn't put you up a full unit if it hits.
It's okay. That's what Friday's for.
But then if you miss Friday, you would lose the week.
Unless I do big odds. Well, yeah.
Right.
That's,
no, you would lose. You just go down a unit no matter what.
I think I was thinking about doing an alt spread today, like Oklahoma City wins by double digits.
I did alt spread OKC the last game, and I took it too far. I did an 11.5. I think they won by 10 or 11 or 9.
That's why I try not to do the
I knew they were going to win
spreads.
big. I was just a little bit off.
I think they should hope Tyrese Halliburton's playing, and if he is, they smell blood in the water, and just Caruso and Dort just harass this dude and make his life hell for 48 minutes to the point where the Pacers got to wave the white flag a little early. I think this thing gets out of hand in the fourth quarter, and the Thunder, well before the clock hits 0, are celebrating a championship.
I hope that's not the case.
I think it is, man.
But I would like to see OKC win in like OKC. A tight game.
I'd like to see OKC win in OKC because that crowd is
true.
Ridiculous.
OKC does win tonight, for sure.
I've got. Do they win by 7 or more?
According to you, yes.
That's the lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, we had some points go up on the scoreboard yesterday for predicting Colin Cowherd's Open. If you're listening in the
we
Great
scored
Lakes,
all week.
I know, we're hot. If you're listening here in the Great Lakes Bay region, right at noon when we're done, Colin Cowherd, the one and only, takes over. And what we like to do to close the show is predict what he's going to open his show with. So we keep score in total on, on the year, on the season, just
ever.
all time.
This is all-time scoreboard. Tune into YouTube if you want to look at the scoreboard.
What's the score right now? 3-3.
3-3.
So I scored a point yesterday because he opened with Caitlin Clark once again.
Yes. I scored off Caitlin Clark on Monday, and then I scored off Thunder on Tuesday. So we have hit our goal was for each of us to get 1 point every week, right?
Yeah. It's
That's
hard,
already
man.
hit.
It's hard.
And I've doubled it. And you have a chance to.
But you get to go first today, right?
I do get to go first today. Yesterday was definitely the ideal day to go first.
Yesterday was like guaranteed he was talking about Caitlin Clark.
Same on Tuesday. It was guaranteed he was talking about Thunder as well. So it kind of evened it out. Oh, today's hard,
tough.
man.
Today's tough.
Anytime there's Shedeur Sanders news, you got to think maybe he's leading with that. But I don't know if I can take it. I'm interested to see if maybe he leads with like a Jair Alexander to the Ravens means the Ravens are the AFC favorite or something. I was kind of leaning towards that a little bit. Thunder obviously playing tonight. The Lakers got sold. I know I'm just giving you options right now, which I shouldn't be doing. I think he goes with it's the potential game-winning game of the finals tonight. No way he picks Shedeur Sanders driving fast over that. So I will go with OKC wins the finals tonight. And maybe some Thunder legacy talk. Do I have to pick one or the other there?
No, you can keep the Thunder in general.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Lakers. Someone buys the Lakers, Luka trade, LeBron aspect of it. I don't know what direction he's gonna go because this is why he's so good. He's gonna come up with something genius with it. But I think it's the Lakers got sold for $10 billion, and that's what the first few minutes are about on the show.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about it, though. I don't
really feel good about your pick either. How do you make a topic out of that? I know Colin can do it.
Don't doubt
What's
him.
What's the take?
I don't know. I'm not as good as Colin Cowherd at this. I'm gonna be quite honest, but Colin can figure something out to where 5 minutes in, I'm like, yep, he's totally right about it. He's 1,000% correct. It's gonna be something with this is the best franchise to own in all of sports, or something along those lines. He'd rather own the Lakers than the Cowboys. Steve Ballmer can keep doing whatever he wants in LA, but the Lakers will always be king. What's the guy's name who bought him? That kind of like now
Mark
he owns
Walter,
the Dodgers. Yeah. And the Lakers, like, is this the most powerful person in LA? Something along those lines. But honestly, if I had the number one pick, I'd probably be going Thunder close this thing out tonight as well. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has the best season since Michael Jordan.
Like, he could talk about the stuff we talked about with being the MVP, finals MVP, same season type stuff. I could see him leaning towards that way. If he does lead with Shedeur, I'm gonna be really upset.
You calling in? He doesn't take callers. But
I might call in
anyway.
Yeah,
you should call into the odd couple tonight and complain
just
about Colin. Yeah.
I might text into the Ben Bosscher show about my frustration tomorrow.
We welcome anyone's texts, really.
Of course.
989-837-6125. That's the number to get a hold of us here at the Ben Bosscher show. All right. That's basically doing it for today. I'm holding out, like, fingers crossed that here in the next 20 minutes or so, Tigers postponed. Tigers in a delay, I guess is the correct verbiage there. And suddenly it becomes a 64% chance.
Still got rain here in Midland, too.
I don't think it's coming down right now.
Rain, go away.
The grounds crew is hard at work right now.
Let's go.
Getting the field ready to go for tonight for Lucky Hot Dog Night. But
woohoo!
Right. But yeah, there's a slim but not 0% chance that we get the best matchup in Major League Baseball today, which would be Paul Skenes versus Tarek Skubal. That's what we all really want.
We better get at least one game.
There's no way we're not playing a single game tonight in Comerica because the rain's supposed to stop in the afternoon. But it's the weird 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock doubleheader instead of like 1 and 4 instead of 1 and 7. And the reason I don't think it's 1 and 7 is the Tigers have to jump on a flight and go to Tampa Bay at the conclusion of today's game. Which
and
makes
the Pirates
me think,
also have to leave and go somewhere as well.
Yeah, tough getaway game. Wouldn't be surprised if they take a little bit of an L tomorrow. But Tampa's not very good, so I don't know.
Lock of the day?
No,
man, Tampa's been hot, man.
Have they?
Don't discount them. Top 10 team in MLB's newest power ranking.
Oh, really? I'm excited to see what the stadium's all about that they're playing in. Because they're not playing in Tropicana this year.
Just ask John about it.
Is he not a fan?
No, it's like the Yankees high A team or something.
Well, I don't need to ask John about it. We're going to watch 3 games later this week.
He knows all that Yankee stuff.
I can't wait for the Benetti post on Twitter. First person you think of. It's like, I don't know. I've never seen that stadium. Okay, so we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully recapping a Paul Skenes versus Derek Skubal matchup, but probably not going to happen. By the way, Dylan Smith just got called back up, so he is now with the Tigers. See if he gets some run today, because likely bullpen day in game number 2 versus Paul Skenes. All right, we will be back tomorrow, hopefully talking about not 1, but 2 Tigers wins. That was the Ben Bosscher Show. See you guys mañana.
The Ben Bosscher Show, powered by the Forward Corporation on